lot of people do.
All right, we're going live, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Today we have a special guest. Alex from Nostalgianomics is going to be stopping by. We don't really see him too often. Oh, wait. Sorry, I messed that up. Shillionaire himself, NE, is going to be telling us all of the ins and outs of how you can yourself shill and make shillions of dollars.
I actually want to learn how to do that.
I'm saying we can use a few pointers, that's for sure. But before we jump into it, as always, make sure leave a like, comment down below, subscribe. Really helps the channel out. And then, of course, lastly, I need to throw Pokey NE's thing down in the description, but we'll have that showing up by the end of the video. And then Alex, of course, his link is down in the description below. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, there's a lot to talk about. I think this is a good one to obviously have you a part of, because we had Rob on last week, which shout out to Rob. Always a pleasure. One of my favorite guys to talk shop with. And we were kind of talking about what the impact was going to potentially be for Phantasmal and what Wave 2 was going to look like as things started to trickle in. And, you know, it's finally starting to happen. And, I mean, looking at prices, dude, it's looking juicy out there right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, what are we getting down to? Are either one of you guys going to... Oh, he is go. And we're getting to the point now where it's just like, I wonder how many people are just going to hold on to their allocations and just keep prices, or how many people are going to, you know, start dropping prices to meet demand. Because, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at TCG Player. They're already down to $209.99. I don't know if either one of you guys have actually got your next wave yet or not. But, yeah, like, I guess to both of you, what's kind of your plans with it? Are you holding any of it? Or are you just going to dump it, you know, everything you got? How you feeling?
I think that, at least for me, what my game plan is that it's going to come down to how much it drops. I'm going to just do business as usual and just try and sell it, because it's not one of these things right now where it's like, oh my God, the sky is falling, we're getting close to wholesale. I mean, we're still far from MSRP. I mean, the box right now is sitting at around $215. So you're still making double you're making 100% markup, 50% margin. So until we start getting into a position where it starts to get close to MSRP and lower than that, I mean, I'm not too worried. I mean, yeah, would you like to make more money, of course, on this item? But realistically speaking, it's not in territory where we start to really panic as if like a true crash is happening for this item. I think 200, like we discussed on last stream, is going to be a huge mental barrier for most people.
Yeah, apologies. My dragon fell off the tree and he was upside down. I got a bearded dragon. He thought he died. He's good. Behind me is the Phantasmal Wave 2, or the reprints, as your thumbnail stated, which I absolutely loved on that from Alex. I'm like, oh, I see what he's doing. But yeah, no, I agree. I honestly, I mean, I'd be very surprised if it didn't jump right back up to like $240 within 10 days. I'm looking at TCG. I don't care about the chart. I'm looking at like this recent sales, and the number one guy on there had like 1,000 boxes, some crazy stupid amount of boxes, and it's already down to like under a few hundred. And the one below him has like 17. And you go down, and it's like once 10 people sell out of their inventory, it's going to go back up, and there's no more coming. Unsolicited business advice: if you want to buy a box, I mean, unless you're really trying to time the market here, I don't think it's going to go below 200. I think it's going to go right back up to where it was. Why wouldn't it?
Real quick, Brian, is it BRIAN or BY?
I.
Okay, cool. Sorry, just adding it to the video. But
so what I heard is you are looking to dump everything you get, but everyone else should buy it and hold it.
That's right. That's the Shillionaire strategy, Alex. No, I'm not really in any rush to sell any of it, because I'm like, it's December 15th. We're doing cash basis accounting, so it's like right now we're not big enough of a deal to need to do accrual base. So I'm just sitting on this going, well, I can sell it January 1st and then kick that income tax, you know, down another year, or I can sell it today and then make an extra $100,000 and then have to pay income tax on that this year. I'd rather kick the can and hope that I die between now and, you know, January 1st, 2026. or 2027. I don't know. That's my strategy. I think all the people on TCG Play are rushing to sell it at these like fire sell prices. I'm like, man, you're either really desperate or really dumb. I don't know what it is, but I wouldn't be fire selling it by any means unless you have something to do with the money.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, there's definitely a sentiment change in the market right now where I feel like people aren't as they don't feel like they need to get something or they're going to miss out. They're definitely feeling like more like they have time again. The whole I'm going to wait strategy. Like people are feeling like, you know, in 1, 2, 3 months, they're still going to have a chance to pick it up. Whereas before the sentiment very much was, I need to get this now because in 1, 2, 3 months, it's going to be higher. If I don't get it now, I'm not going to have a chance to get back in. So I think that's what's probably like slowing things down too, is people are finally just like, you know what? I got time. I don't need to rush. I'll be able to get this box, you know, in 6 months or whatever. And, you know, if it was me, I mean, I've already said it, but if it was me, I'd be looking at getting more 151, getting like Paldea, getting these sword and shield sets that are already out of print, like getting first block SV, sword and shield, anything else you've been looking at. I'd stay away from the uncommon, common, vintage first editions that are obviously parabolic, but other than those, I think you should be all right.
That's been fun to see.
Dude, is that not scary? It's literally the same exact cards that pumped before the 2022 correction.
I saw your video today.
Like,
I thought that was hilarious.
It's not even like similar cards. It's the Eevee, the Jigglypuff, the all the same exact card. It's so weird how that works.
Yeah, they're not even trying to be like sneaky about it. It's just the same old thing. And people like, I don't even think it's people falling for it again necessarily. I think it's just new people falling for it the first time.
Yes.
And it's just a pattern. Like you probably said. It's a vicious cycle of, you know, screw or get screwed.
Well, as we all know, I mean, 4 years go by. There's maybe 5-10% of the people that are still in the hobby. Everyone's gone. So everyone here now, they just have to take people like me and yours word for it, unless they go back and watch videos from 4 years ago and see for themselves. But, you know, everyone that's here now, you know, they hear someone like us talking about it and they're just like, oh, it wasn't like that. Oh, they have an agenda. They're trying to do this or that. Like my videos are great because it's always two things. One, I'm trying to pump the market so my investments go up, or I'm trying to crash the market so I can buy on everyone panic selling. I'm always trying to do one of the two things.
Perfect crime.
It is. It's great. Sometimes you're just relaying information that people just don't know.
What do you I know we talked a little bit about the booster box. You think that's going to stay above 200? What do you think about the Charizard EX premium collection? I know we talked a little bit beforehand distros. I haven't gotten my supply yet for my main distro, but a couple of my distros have just now finally started to ship out. So we haven't really seen the effects of that. Do you have any sort of anticipation what you think the price is going to be?
Well, and before Brian answers that, I want to cut him off. Guys, when they talk about this, these are confirmed, like allocated from distributors. These aren't, hey, I know a guy that said they're going to drop a bunch at Costco. So I want to clarify it's different.
Damn.
I do have to clarify that with
seriously
the notification groups out there.
So this is going to be one that I don't have a great perspective on because people think I'm lying, but I legitimately forgot to order these from my main distro. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's ironically, so I got to leave the stream around, an hour and a half or two from now to meet my best friends had a baby, and their baby shower we went to St. Louis for. And while I was out of town in St. Louis is when the main distro expired orders. So I was effing around in St. Louis when I should have been on Southern Hobby's website ordering stuff. And I let it expire, and I called my rep, and I'm like, hey, man, I think I missed the biggest freaking item of the year. He's like, yeah, you did. So he gave me 50 UPCs as like a pity gift.
Wow.
And I sold them. So I didn't actually get an order in for the Charizard UPCs, and it probably cost me between $60,000 and $160,000. Expensive baby shower. But yeah, from what I understand, there's going to be a lot of them, but I am no expert, so I'm gonna pass that on to you.
Yeah, I mean, the rundown is basically wave 2 is bigger than wave 1. So, wow. And it's bigger by roughly around 10 to 15%. So it is is in my personal opinion, a experiment that we're going to be witnessing in real time to see if this is something that will crash down to below MSRP. Because right now it's at, I think, 160 last time I checked is where it was sitting at right now. Let me see. Yeah, it's sitting at right at 159.98 is what market's listed at. But is that lowest listed? Yep, that is lowest listed. So it's right at 160. It's $40 away from MSRP, guys.
Wow.
Like $40 away. And I know that we're not going to put as much stock into this in terms of market corrections, because it's not Costco, but I've been seeing a lot of people post on social media going into their local Targets and seeing a lot of this product being available on shelves. And so if that's the case, and you've got scalpers that are obviously wanting to eat this product up while the margins are good, if we have the majority of distros in terms of supply, at least from my perspective, right? Because my main distro still hasn't shipped this out to me yet to come, and we're already at 160. I don't see how this doesn't hit at least MSRP. And then if it hits MSRP, it's just going to be a waterfall effect from there, because then there's no margins for people to go buy this product and scalp it on Target.
I mean, if you're asking me, I think it's going to probably get somewhere between 1 to 120 if I had to guess. If I had to like make a guess, I could see that happening. And I also think it's going to be one of the best buys of the year. If that actually drops to that price, I think it's going to be one of the best buys. Like, that'll be one of the products that in a while that I'm going to probably go heavy on. If I can pick up those that cheap, it just, I mean, because when you look at like everything else that's that expensive, like you're talking about like other like ETBs, you're even talking about like, I don't know, 151 booster bundle is like $100. Like, you're talking about picking up a Charizard UPC with all those packs, those promos and everything. If you can get anywhere near MSRP or under, it just seems like a good value in my opinion. Seeing how the other Charizard UPC did very shortly after it was like $70-$80 and how fast it recovered and how much it recovered. I don't know. It seems like a no-brainer. I think it's probably one of the most no-brainer plays in a while.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think one thing we haven't talked about, which I will be interested to see, what's the price going to be for loose packs on these items? Because it has Surging, right? It has Journey. It has Destined. Like, it'll be interesting to watch and see what the loose pack prices are going to be for the loose packs within this item. Because realistically speaking, if those stay elevated, which I'd be surprised if they did, I mean, it would feel like a no-brainer thing to still buy and be able to make money on by just selling the loose packs at that point. I mean, depending upon the price, right? But I mean, the price packs right now, at least most of those packs that are inside of it are selling for at minimum $6 to $7 roughly.
I have a question for you guys. So I've been getting reached out by like good amount of creators, like creators that either they sell online, they also stream, they vend, and they just been like I guess like asking me my opinion, like how my business is doing, how my sales are doing. I don't know if you guys get reached out to by like people asking that, but how are both your businesses doing? Because I told them the same thing. I'll tell you right now, like the streams they're definitely down from like February, March, and April, like beginning of the year when things were really crazy, but the streams are way better than they were in summer. Like I was down worse in summer. I would say maybe they're down like 10% than usual, but it's like sales for me have been still really strong. Like, how are you guys seeing sales right now?
My side's been good. We've had busier Christmas seasons in the past, like Mega Dream, for how hype Ascended Heroes is apparently and how crazy Mega Dream is. We've ironically sold less Mega Dream high class boxes than any other high class box, which I thought was fascinating. Like Shiny Treasure, we sold way more of. V-Star Universe, we sold a shitload more of.
Is it the price point?
It might be the price point, because I think I look at my Facebook memories all the time. It's my favorite part of Facebook. And I think the last Facebook memory I looked at, Shiny Treasure was like $85 right now, and V-Star Universe was around like $90. So I think it could be just the extra $20-$30. But it is, I mean, I remember I have videos on my channel of us like 3, 4, 5 friends like packing Shiny Treasures, and even Trastal Festival like panicked trying to get them out. And with Mega Dream, I don't even think we've sold 800 boxes yet. I think we're still around like high 7s, low 8s in boxes. So it's been a pretty chill Christmas. I think the only reason sales are as high as they are as far as like sales volume, like dollars, it's because everything's just more expensive. So because we like last holiday quarter, we were doing about like 500 or 600K a month in sales, and this holiday it's been around 475 to 550, and I think it's only because the stuff's just so much more expensive. I think volume wise it's a little bit slower, but it's a price point thing. Overall, I mean, business is great, and the people that are really struggling right now, you all need to find a better source for stuff would be my guess, because it's still very popular.
I mean, Retrospecs is in chat saying Mega Dream is his best-selling box since Rocket. I mean, I'll say one thing.
Yeah, maybe since Rocket. Like,
yeah, I'll definitely say that it's definitely the best selling on stream since Rocket. Mega and Black Bolt White Flare, like those weren't as good for me in Japanese as Mega Dream and Rocket were.
I agree with that. I'm comparing to other high class sets, and yeah. I want to hear what he says about other high class sets. It's definitely been the best Japanese set of the year. But
well, Phantasmal was I guess Prismatic. What was it? Terrestrial Festival was last year, right?
Yeah.
Because English was January, so that must have been December.
Mm-hmm. The high class sets are always around Black Friday-ish.
Okay.
And they've always been, like, Trastel and Shiny Treasure was way bigger for us.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like I get asked this question every single stream. Some freaking random dude named Nostalgianomics. It feels like he's always asking me how business is going. So I would say, if I were to guess how the market feels, it feels
how is business going?
I know, I'm just fucking with you. No, I mean business itself. Here's the problem with that question is it's always so hard to put in perspective because everyone's numbers and business models are so different. But I mean, to try and answer the question as best as possible, I would say that business has really not felt any different for Pokemon. It feels exactly the same as it's been since the boom. The only thing that feels horrible right now is Magic. That's it. So, I mean, realistically, Phantasmal sold just as well as Mega did, and Mega, as crazy as it sounds, sold just as well as Destined. Like, Destined was insane, but Mega sold for more than Destined did out the gate. I mean, most of you guys obviously remember Mega on release week was selling for still above 300, where Destined was selling for 240, which, of course, a two-wave system changed that. Supply obviously played a huge factor, but the price point didn't change anything for how people kind of felt about buying the product. And Ascended Heroes, which I think we should definitely talk about that pretty soon here. I mean, this is a set that's going to have delayed ETBs. So, I mean, we talked about it a little bit on last stream, but I can only imagine how expensive the packs are going to be out the gate. And then on top of that, too, we can go into it here shortly, but it feels like from comparing numbers, we've started to get some allocations from distros. It looks like a set that we're getting significantly less of compared to the last specialty set with the black and white.
I think they're going to be $15 to $20 a pack.
It's going to be stupid expensive.
Yeah, I said 15 to 20 a couple weeks ago, and I'm changing my answer to higher than that because truly, especially in the rip and ship world, which I do giveaways, but I don't do like rips. I think like whatnot sellers will be able to get 25 to 30. Like out the gate.
Especially pre-release.
Yeah, I guess I should specify that down the line, once all the products are out, that won't be the case. But if you want it day one, that's what you're probably going to be paying. It's just the allocation, the numbers I've gotten are complete ass. Even Danny Phantom was pissed off about his numbers. And, no one believes the Shillionaire NE, and that's fair. But I think we all know Danny Phantom's a pretty honest, good guy. And he he had a pretty good rant about like the numbers not being kind of where he wanted them to be. So yeah, I think it's going to be definitely 20, maybe north of that on release or pre-release.
It's crazy. Like we ask this every stream. What are they doing? But seriously, what are they doing? Legitimately, what is going on behind the scenes that's causing stuff like this to happen?
Well, I mean, to our conversation beforehand, not like revealing any of the stuff we talked about, like, specifics wise, but it's like, I don't think you guys truly realize like how close, both of you guys are to like your allocations being up there in the higher tiers. Yeah. I just think everyone thinks like, oh, there's these big giant, conglomerates at the top that are getting tens of thousands of boxes and everything. It's like everyone that talks to their reps tells you, no, it's like there's not people like that, like, and I just think people think there's way more product out there than there is. I think it's always been that way. I mean, Alpha Investments has talked about that forever. I think people just have this vision in their heads that like, as far as the eye can see, there's just warehouses full of product and it's never ending. And it's just it's not the case.
Yeah, not at all. And I literally, the guys in the chat don't understand, but I learned that literally 10 minutes before this stream started, that there's not as many out there as I would have thought. And I've had conversations with my distro, over the last year or two. I'm like, hey, how can I be the best? Like, what is the best guy getting in this set? Like, what do I need to do to be better? Where do I rank? And I rank a lot higher than I ever would have thought I did, and I'm not getting nearly enough to demand. I mean, our little store, I say little, apparently we're a big store. We've got 80,000 people in the email list. 50,000 of those people are like email subscribers that are active and participate, open one every couple emails. And I mean, I'm not getting even enough to supply 10% of those people if they all want a booster box at a new set. And I just like think about that and then extrapolate that to, you had Rob on the other day and all the other great businesses. And it's like, they all have bigger email lists than me, or at least the same. And I'm apparently in the top 10% of a lot of these distribution companies, which is baffling to me. And I'm just like, there isn't a lot, unless the number one guy is getting his own freaking warehouse delivered to him in his backyard. Like, you're right. There's just not as much as people think, me included.
Yeah, the inner workings of distribution, it makes sense when you start to understand it, but then also at the same time, it kind of makes you wonder now what the manufacturing side looks like. As you consistently start to figure out that because you kind of have assumptions with distribution, right? Like when you first get into it, you're like, oh, these distros, they must have all this product, they must be making all this money, and you have these, constant assumptions. And then as you start to get it, you're like, okay, they're not making as much as we realize, they're not getting as much supply as we realize, and then it starts to make sense why they make certain business decisions when it comes to how they handle procedurally distributing to retailers. And then from there, it's like, okay, well, then what's the manufacturing side doing? Because if that's the case, why aren't they more prepared for, times like this where, like you said, you feel like such a small fry when in reality you're getting so much more than everyone else? It's like, what does that look like? But in all honesty, my belief is that I think we're just in unprecedented times. And so because of that, you're kind of having to figure out how to handle that. Because we saw obviously craziness during COVID, but part and parcel, that was because of supply chain issues. And previous to COVID, there hadn't been a time where we had seen this much product being printed as aggressively with this much demand, this much, volatility. And so I just really think that Pokemon is having to kind of figure it out right now on the fly. And it's, the wheels take a lot longer than what people want it to take to be able to print as much as demand is asking for.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, Mason's in the chat. Shout out to Mason. We'll have to have him on next week, dude. Yeah, we're doing the rounds, man. We're getting all the fun people in. I want to talk about, I know we're talking obviously a little bit about distribution and stuff. Let's just share the numbers. I'll go first. If you don't want to share anything, you don't have to, obviously, Brian. Yeah. But I got my numbers in with one of my main distros with Ascended Heroes. I'm always very transparent about my numbers. With that distro specifically, we got roughly around a little under 1,200 in terms of ETBs from that just one distro for black and white. From that same distro, it's going to be split into 2 waves for Ascended Heroes. That's been confirmed. I'm going to get a little less than 1,000. So I think that the math came out to right around 15% reduction in allocation. Which, usually for me at least, if I get like an 8% reduction, I'm like, oh, that sucks. 15%, that feels brutal. And that is how it is for me with the ETBs. I also was talking to Brian about it, and I went and looked at my booster bundles, and it was just as bad, if not worse. So I don't know what's going on with Ascended Heroes, but it's going to be very, I hate using the term short printed. I feel like it's a very clickbaity thing, but there's going to be a significant amount printed less based off of what I've heard, at least from discussing it so far.
Yeah, I'm glad we had a little powwow before this live stream about this. I was able to get my numbers in check too. And yeah, I don't have ETB numbers yet like Eli does, but I have booster bundle numbers. And so with black and white, I got 16 cases of black, 16 cases of white. So 32 cases of booster bundles day one. And with this set, Ascended Heroes, I'm getting 10. So 10 cases. Now, I don't know if that's 10 cases total between a wave 1 and a wave 2. It's not finalized yet, but it's basically finalized. And that's pretty bad. And then the poster collection I have semi-finalized numbers for too. And I'm getting, it's 100 and, what did I say? 157. Not a good number. It altogether, between the poster collections and the booster bundles, it's like $9,000 of stuff. And so that's just one of my distros, but it's one of my bigger ones. And I'm a little bit horrified by those numbers.
And then, guys, I'll make you feel a little better. I mean, so I got double the amount. Like, 100.
Alex, dude, is
it
skyrocket?
100% increase in allocation.
Okay,
so, I mean, we have to look at that.
Right, Alex.
Maybe they're just trying to spread it out more.
Equitability.
Honest with, all right, Alex, be honest with us. Have you been what have you been doing under the table? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's the secret here?
Listen, man, it's not who you know, it's how you know them.
Oh, right? Okay.
Wow.
It's how you know them.
Jesus.
No, it is pretty wild though. Like, it's, everyone just keeps waiting for this magical moment when everything's dirt cheap and going to zero and there's infinite products and the shelves are falling. It's like, I think people forget that it took time for that to happen after COVID. Like, it wasn't just like you snapped your finger and every shelf was full with every product. Like, it takes time. Like, you need a bad product nobody wants, and then things to slow down, then another product, and it starts to build, and then distro, calls you up with a reprint. Okay, we got to take that. It takes time. It's not all one Phantasmal Flame got the second wave, things are dropping, everything's available. It's it takes time. We're still months away, I think. Half a year probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's a specialty set. I'll be interested to see what numbers are going to be for the set after. I know Ascended Heroes is super hyped because the Gengar and the Dragonite, and I get that, and it'll do well, blah, blah. But realistically, if we're talking normalization, Ascended Heroes is going to be a horrible example of normalization in the market because of all of the delays and all of the, different numbers that we're seeing so far compared to the last specialty set. So I think the booster box set afterwards will be one that is going to be much more important to pay attention to see if we see a trend here. Because, who knows? We could realistically be seeing a trend before our eyes, or we could be seeing Phantasmal just performing how it should be performing, considering if you look at the history of Charizard sets and how it just feels like there's nothing else to pull other than a Charizard, and it's continuing that trend. but it's being held up by the fact that there is supply issues and it's in a stronger market, right? Like what is the factor? I think the only thing that may make me feel otherwise is Mega has been a set that people have been super high on. It's got some obviously amazing cards in it, including, the Venusaur line. And that box has continued to drop even after the fact. Because I remember when the second wave came out, I think I remember saying 250 was where I felt like the low was in, and then it hit 250 and rebounded to 270. And then all of a sudden, prices on product started to kind of look a little weaker. And then when Phantasmal started to drop, Mega seemed to drop with it. And so it's now at 225. So it's continuing to drop. So it's one of those things where you kind of think based off of that it's not just Phantasmal being a set that's finally getting the weakness that we've been expecting that it should get for a set like that. But, with other sets also kind of showing a little bit of weakness, it kind of makes you wonder. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, I just like having thoughts of like, it feels like a day trading mindset to me. It's just like Phantasmal is just at 209.99. I bought it. Okay, it's back to 216. I'm gonna sell it now. Okay, wait for the other one to drop. Then I'm gonna buy that one. It's just like, I don't know. Kind of like Brian said, like he's not paying attention to all these like TCG player charts when he's trying to run his business. Like, honestly, I think anyone who wants to like have a long-term success in this hobby, they should probably like I love Collector App. They always support the channel. You should definitely have Collector App, but like maybe check it once a week or a month. Like maybe check TCG Player much less often. Like maybe just like take some time away. I feel like this like constant in your face content and like TCG Player and this every single day Collector App, every single day is getting people so amped up and so like fidgety on what kind of moves they're making. And I don't know, it's just like the more things change, the more things stay the same. We're going to be making we'll have this live stream again in a year. And, you're going to laugh. Like you're going to see all these little squigglies that look like, nothing at that point. Cause and you're gonna be like, oh, remember remember that reprint? And then it ran up again. And they're restock. Remember all that stuff? You're like, yeah, I know. Now it's 10 times the price. What are you talking about?
Yeah. And the problem is 90% of people who just heard what you said that should be listening to what you said, they won't be here anymore because they'll run out of money and they'll go do something else. That's the problem. And then the 10% that heard what you said that know you're correct, they're already doing the right thing.
Yeah,
it's tragic. It's the tragic paradox of video. But I
mean, we've all seen it probably. Like, I mean, if you like just look at your comment sections or like your live stream chats, I know my audience is almost, I don't know, 90% different than what it was when I started my channel. I can barely pick out people that used to comment and like watch videos 3 years ago.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. And it's really interesting. Rudy released a video talking about these like guys that called his Patreon a ripoff or whatever. And it wasn't that dramatic of a video, but I clicked on the linked video and it's these two guys that are running a podcast just like we are right now. And you could tell at the time 3 or 4 years ago, that was a big channel. You could tell they had fans and, listeners at a 3:23 p.m. on a freaking Tuesday, whatever. You could tell that they had a fan base and they haven't uploaded in 3 years and no one's ever heard of them. And so like, just like the commenters, the YouTubers that you think are going to be here forever, they vanished one day and no one misses them because their clientele also vanished. And so, yeah, in 3 years, I mean, hopefully we'll all still be doing this, but ultimately Alex is right. The chart's going to look like that. And every dip, you're not going to, someone sneezed wrong and bought too many. Like
it already happens. I've had people ask me who Leonhardt is before.
Wow.
I've had people ask me who SM Pratt is. Like it's wild. Like, just being here through all that, it's like, who's Leonhardt? He's like the Pokerev before Pokerev was who he was. Like, who's SM Pratt? Like he was the Pokemon voice of Rudy before any other investment channels really existed. And it's just like, people kind of just stop really posting regularly, stop posting at all, fall off. A couple of years goes by. Everyone's like, who's that?
I mean, a lot of people don't really know about my channel. When I talk to other people on my One Piece USA account, I'm like, you guys don't know who Pokemon USA is? And they're like, no, dude, not at all. And I'm like, Pokemon's dead anyway. That's why I have this account for One Piece. That's kind of the next thing. So you might not see me posting as much videos these days. I know I've been very active on this channel, so that obviously is playing a part into it. So go check me out, One Piece USA, if you really want to go see where I make most of my content at this point.
That's hilarious.
I don't know, dude.
Pokemon's dead anyway. That's freaking
Pokemon's
gold.
dead anyway. Might as well go check out One Piece. I do see that though. Like, I feel like that's the kind of like meme or like troll thing people say nowadays is like how a lot of the people are leaving into One Piece, and I'm just like, dude, One Piece I feel like has been doing good forever now. Like even before like the Pokemon boom happened, I feel like One Piece was always strong.
I mean, I'll shout out somebody, like shout out Pokey Profit. I mean, he jumped on early and started making One Piece content on a separate channel. And I looked at it the other day. I think his One Piece channel is actually gonna surpass his Pokemon channel.
I looked at that too. I think you're right.
It's on pace. I think the views and the subscriber growth is on pace. He's probably gonna have a bigger One Piece channel than his Pokemon channel he's been building for however long, which is crazy.
Yeah, the first thing I looked at when I found out he had 2 channels was the view count, and I'm like, this is hilarious.
Oh, he's killing it.
If you were like a One Piece investor or believer, like, you know, for a while, like that's awesome, like respect. I think what makes me cringe about most of his subscribers is they were probably all Pokemon card investors 4 months ago.
Checks out.
That's what makes me cringe. Like his growth, I mean, he's a great content creator. He does a good job and his videos are very entertaining. But a good chunk of his growth is just all the Pokemon viewers he had 4 months ago scooching over to that channel. Because, like Eli said, Pokemon's dead. Might as well move to One Piece. It's too funny to me. I just can't get over it. I was around when MetaZoo was the next Pokemon, and no one remembers that, but I do. I remember walking into Collect-A-Con, and no one was opening One Piece, and nobody was opening Pokemon.
Dude,
all opening MetaZoo Kickstarter boxes.
All jokes aside, I was going to buy 2 pallets of MetaZoo, but Football Pete wouldn't ship them. They were local pickup only. Dude, one ended at $1,000 for a 567 box pallet. The other one ended at no bids at 1,000. It was UFO and Seance. I was literally going to buy both of them, but I messaged him and he wouldn't even let me pay for the shipping. I was like, dude, I'll just ship the pallets. I'll pay for it. Like, wouldn't even do it. I'm like, I'm not driving down to wherever they are, Virginia or wherever, Carolina. I forget where it was. I'm not driving down there to pick up pallets. But like, dude, even if it costs $500 each to ship them, you're talking like $2-3 a box is what you can pick up MetaZoo for right now. Pallets.
That's wild. Actually, I didn't know it was that different. But here's the thing: people will hear that and go, "Well, yeah, MetaZoo, blah blah blah." Like, of course, it's like just like, bro. If you were here 3 years ago, it was a whole different world. Collect-A-Con was a very different landscape 3-4 years ago. All I gotta say.
And it's really weird, like all the new TCGs. It's similar to grading companies. It's the same like cultish, weird, like, following. It's like it was the way CGC was when it started. It was the way Tag was when it started. And it's the same feeling with these new TCGs. It's like people get really cultish. They like attack you for not liking it. Like if you're not involved in One Piece, like there's something wrong with you. You're a boomer. You're out of touch. You just don't get it. And it was the same way when like Tag came around. Like, oh no, Tag is the greatest ever. It's AI. You're still a boomer on PSA. PSA is going down, and you're just like, look. I'm not saying Tag and CGC won't do well. I'm not saying One Piece won't do well, but whether it does well or not, Pokemon's not going anywhere. The two are mutually exclusive.
Agree. I've been called a boomer a lot lately. I'm like, bro, I'm 32. Like, geez, chill.
Yeah, so I just don't like the culture of it. It's really weird how like aggressive people are. That like you have to be involved with One Piece. They're like they attack you, man.
I call Alex a boomer every day before stream, so he's used to it. Honestly, at this point.
Fair.
Well, he tries to tell me to do all this like technological stuff, and I'm like, dude, what is that?
Like what?
I don't even know. He wants me to become like a developer or something.
Oh.
I told him he needed to learn to code. That's what I said.
Oh yeah, I'm too boomer for that. I'm with Alex on there. I'll chat GPT that shit. Make myself a Gen Alpha.
I was like,
I just go on Gemini and say do it.
Like, Alex, you just got to be a little bit more tech savvy. You got to understand that when you see a search bar, that means you're supposed to type something in it. And he's like, that's just too much for me. I just asked the Siri and then it tells me what I'm supposed to do.
Well, dude, think about this. Like a little while ago when the Pokemon Pocket came out, like people were all on board with that. Oh, look at these arts. They're exclusive arts. They're so much better. Digital's the future. It was like, dude, this is like NFT talk again. What are we doing here?
People actually thought that the card game was going to suffer. I distinctly remember, unironically, people thinking that they'd stop buying paper cards. You can't make this shit up. The people in the comments aren't there anymore. They're different people now. So they don't believe how literal I'm being because I troll a lot, but I'm being complete. Am I wrong or am I right?
100%.
Like, people thought this would end the paper card game.
Dude, what about the CT scan?
I was just
there was people dumping their sealed product, like dumping in mass at the sheer news that there was someone like CT scanning as a company, or if it was even real or not, and they were just dumping everything. It's over, sealed's over, it's all going to zero, and it's just like, dude, every year there's a new thing, and it always just gets brushed over. It's like, is anyone even talking about probe steam with the shill bid, thing anymore?
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say,
are we done talking about the PSA changing the 9s and 10s yet? Is that washed over yet? It's like,
that's the new one.
Things, it's almost like they're ramping up too. They're coming quicker and they're going away quicker as time goes on.
Yeah, the drama cycle. I was actually gonna make a video about remember 10 years ago when Probstein did the sketchy snipe thing, because no one remembers already. And it's already been long enough where I don't think that video would get clicks because no one even remembers it a little bit, even though it was like 3 weeks ago. So I was going to make another one called Remember 10 Years Ago when PSA did the 9 and 10 scam. And if I uploaded that today, by the time that it gets 1,000 views, there'll be some other scandal. It's going to happen. Like, within the next 24 hours, there'll be some huge thing. For sure. Long overdue.
It is crazy to think about.
Let's talk a little bit about, while we've got Brian obviously on here, because this is our first time interacting on the channel, so welcome. I want to talk about your business a little bit. I know you're obviously like Alex, big Japanese guy. So huge Japanese guy. So I would love to get your kind of perspective on that. Give me a little bit of a rundown of your story. Alex.
Look at that.
Oh my golly, Alex.
We're dreaming, baby.
We're dreaming. Yeah, I want to hear a little bit about your business. The thing I'd be most, actually, I'll let you go. Just kind of give me a little bit of the background of your business for people.
Yeah, so we did start doing Japanese only when 2021 came around. Obviously there was a big shortage of Pokemon in stores. You couldn't really go out and buy it then either. And a lot of the stuff was getting scalped, blah, 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 cyclical nature of Pokemon. And so I was like, well, there's these Japanese promo cards I can flip from eBay and make some good money. And so I did that with these Grand Prix Charizards. And it got a lot of traction on TikTok. A couple videos went viral. I got lucky, luck of the draw. And then someone was like, hey, you should sell Japanese booster boxes. And I said, okay, cool. I can contact some Japanese people. So I found one guy through my Charizard card purchasing on eBay, and I got his contact info, and I contacted him outside of eBay because I'm a rebel. And we got to working together. We sold booster boxes together, and I did that for like a year and a half. I had no distro. Everyone wants to start a Pokemon card business. I think they need distro. It's like, bruh, we did $1.5 million in Japanese without distro in 2021. Like, I feel like Iron Man in a cave here. Like, you don't need all this free stuff. So that's how we started. We did the Japanese thing. And it's funny because, as we've been saying multiple times in this little podcast, people cycle out of this hobby so quickly and so often that I'm not even known as the Japanese guy anymore. I used to be like, Pokémon and Japanese were like synonymous. Like, oh yeah, the Japanese Pokémon. There's been a couple people that go, oh, you have Japanese too, that's awesome. And I'm like, bro, that's how that was our thing. Like, that was our whole thing, because we had distro eventually, but it was 2 years into the business and we barely got anything good. Also, none of y'all cared about any of the Scarlet Violet era until Twilight, maybe, or Surging. So yeah, that was our origin story, was Japanese boxes without distro. And we took, cycled some money through. Our big break was Shiny Star V. We dropped $11,000 on Shiny Star V. Flipped it, nearly doubled our money because, believe it or not, the margins were really good back then. And we just kept cycling that same $11,000 through for the next 4 or 5 years. And here we are now. We're apparently one of the bigger vendors for the big distribution companies, which I still don't understand. But that's kind of the origin story. I don't know if you want me to go into detail on anything.
Well, so I have a bajillion questions. So I'll start with the first one. So I guess question number one is you tell people, okay, you don't need distribution to do what I do or to start your own Pokemon business. What was kind of the route that you went in order to get access to Pokemon Japanese? Because I feel like it's very convoluted and a lot of people don't understand the like inner workings of how you're able to get access to this product, whether you have a middleman to Japanese product or whether you go directly to someone in Japan. Like, how does that kind of work?
Yeah, so it's strangely not convoluted at all. It's just risky. My first Japanese guy, like I said, it was an eBay seller that was selling me single Charizard cards. So I basically got his shipping label when he shipped me the Charizard cards, and I found out how to contact him outside of eBay. That was easy. Now, eventually we scaled up to the point where he wasn't able to supply us with enough stuff. So I literally just went to Instagram. People think I'm lying, but it's really this easy. I went to Instagram, I typed in Japanese Pokemon cards, hashtag, and I just scrolled through until I found some people that were Japanese and had a ton of stuff in their profile pictures and their feed or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this looks like a supplier. And I just DM'd hundreds of them. Like, legitimately, you can look at all my past videos and vlogs way back in my TikTok days. When people lie, their stories don't line up and you can find discrepancies between videos. I've been saying the same thing for years. I went to Instagram. I DM'd a shitload of people. My account got flagged because I was DMing too many people. So we opened Andrea's accounts. And then I had a spare Instagram account. And I just talked to Japanese people on Instagram. And shockingly, and you can, again, look at previous videos, try to prove me wrong, Rattle. I'm not making any of this up. Ooh. I never got scammed. Like, there was a couple of my suppliers did send me stuff that was resealed or bad product, but they like acknowledged it. They're like, hey, just so you know, there's some bad stuff that we sent out to people. If you're one of those people, contact us, we'll make it work. But there was never any like overt, like, I wired someone money and they said, okay, see ya, peace out. The Japanese people I found all happen to be great, honest people. It's a little bit of risk for sure, but as long as you're kind of vetting them and you start with PayPal goods and services, there's a very good chance that you're going to find honest people. There's way more good people than bad. And with these kind of scams, unless you're a complete moron, you can tell if they're like if they've been doing this for a while. And it doesn't really make sense for an established Pokemon supplier from Japan to just randomly start ripping people off. Like, the people that get wire transfer frauded, they contacted a guy with like 3 pictures that opened their account 2 months ago. It's like, bruh, come on. That's it though. It ain't convoluted. It's just risky.
So obviously it sounds like most of the people that you're reaching out to get supply, it's directly Japanese people. It's not people that know Japanese people. Would that be correct, I would say?
Yeah. These are vendors in Japan. So Japanese distributors, like the Japanese Southern Hobby, they don't work with Americans. You got to go to a vendor in Japan.
Right. Have you? Oh man, like I said, I have a bajillion questions. Where do I want to start? I'll go with this next question.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, this is a loaded question, so it's going to be multi-layered. So when it comes to distribution for Japan, I know you don't work directly, but just talk to me about how different it is dealing with Japan distribution or people that work directly with Japan distribution compared to English. Like, what do they have to go through? What are they paying compared to what you typically are saying, like percentage wise, compared to like what you would get? Like, for example, back in the day when you were getting Pokemon, right? For much cheaper, it was roughly like, 15 to 10% above wholesale. Is it very similar to like that in terms of what they're able to sell it to you for? Is it different? Like, for what you're seeing proportionally, are you able to get things for a much better price comparatively? And then a follow-up question I would say that kind of ties in with that is, when it comes to finding prices for your business, is it one of these things where it's like, all right, I found my guy, this is the person who I just keep going to because I built that trusting relationship? Or are you constantly trying to find more suppliers that are offering you a better rate that you can just kind of pin against one another, so you're always getting the best price? Or how does that kind of work? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I'll start with the easiest part of that question first. When you find your guy, you stick with your guy. Like I've probably had about 7 people that I bought 5 figures from over the last several years, and 3 of them I've been consistent with. No one's ripped me off, like I said. It's just like sometimes they just can't keep up with my scale, and then sometimes their prices just get a little, they just don't agree with me as much. But there's one person that I spend the most money with, and I'll send her probably about $200,000 a month ish, sometimes more if it's a new release. And then the other 2 are kind of my ancillary suppliers. But yeah, when you find someone that works with you, you stick with them. And if you scratch their back, they'll scratch yours. And it's just, you kind of get a rhythm going with like shipping times, you know, what day they go out and ship, how long it'll take, which by the way, it takes like only 2 days. If you got a good supplier, they can get my stuff here quick. So like my main girl, if I get an order in by Sunday, she gets it to my house Tuesday, the next, like 2 days later, 2 or 3 days later, Wednesday at the latest. And so I kind of know her schedule. And so it's good to stick with your people. As far as how it works down there, I know distribution's a bit different in Japan. There's no Poke Annies or Pokemart USAs or not Nostalgianomics. There's none of that in Japan. The Japanese distros work with like store LGS owners who are in there, and a lot of the stuff that you see on the secondary market in Japan is essentially people flipping just like Americans do. But if you want to get someone that can give you 5 or 6 figures worth of product every month consistently, it's going to be a LGS owner. It's going to be someone that actually has brick and mortar and employees typically. And the thing that's crazy is, you were asking about margins. And this is the reason why I think, Alex, you can speak on this if you disagree, but I think the reason you and Rudy and some other people are a little more like meh about Japan is because of the volatility and how inconsistent it is. And the reason for that volatility and lack of more predictable growth is because the floor is so damn low and the ceiling is so high, and the Japanese people don't care. So the MSRP on a Japanese box is $40 roughly. And so with Mega Dream, for example, I'm buying it for 90 right now, and we're selling it for like 110. If the price tanks, it goes half. I'm buying it for 45 now, and they're still making money. Like, think about that. Like, they're getting it for $40. So if it's 100 here and you drop 30%, 40%, 50%, they're still making a killing on margin. So they don't really care. That's why you see this fluctuation so often. Like Terastal Festival, you people out there, you're buying it for $100 a box all day long. In Japan, they're getting it for, it's 40 MSRP. It's $40. So their distros are selling it to the vendors at probably 30, 32 maybe at the tops. So they don't really give a shit if the market tanks here, because they're still doubling their money sometimes. If the market tanks from $100 a box to 80, they're still doubling their money at 65. So that's why there's so much risk with Japanese. There's this huge chasm. And back in the day before the Poke Annies of the world came about, Japanese vendors would sell 1 box at a time, maybe 2 at a time, directly to Americans, and the Americans would have to pay $27 to $30 to ship a single box over. And now that there's all these American companies doing what I'm doing, where we're able to ship a booster box of Japanese over for like 75 cents because we're buying tens of thousands of dollars of them, it changed things up a little bit. Mix tariffs into the equation, it gets really funky. But we're at the point now where, and again, back to the supplier part of the question, you want a Japanese supplier that does, it's like duty, what's the acronym? Duty delivered, hold on, DDP, there's an acronym. Delivery duty paid. You want a supplier that does DDP, which means you pay the tariffs up front to your Japanese supplier and they handle all the paperwork and shit, because that gets confusing and weird. and it'll also avoid surprises. Like I know DJ was in here at some point and he was like, oh yeah, I got my Mega Dream boxes in, and then I got hit with the tariff invoice from FedEx, and it was a little more than I thought, whatever. If you do DDP, you know exactly what you're paying. And so that's a whole, I mean, that learning this whole tariff thing that just started a few months ago, that is a whole nother ball game. Like things changed considerably just from that alone. So with Japanese, it's not convoluted necessarily finding someone, but the more red tape comes about, the more convoluted it does become. Like people need to be careful.
So
I mean,
you go, Alex.
Well, I was gonna say, like, for me, you know, I was always approaching it from like an investing standpoint. Like for a business standpoint, it makes obvious sense. But like, you know, for like investing, you know, the transparency is so hard because, like you just said, you like there's the floor is so low, and you just have no idea who's getting what for what, and like everyone's got a different story because it's the internet and everyone just bullshits all day. And so everyone's saying they got all these, especially 151. Every single person you talk to said they got a different price. And so it's like you don't even know where the low is, like if you're getting in at the good price or not. It's like the lack of transparency is what I always didn't like about it. And then also, you know, Japanese is a lot like, you know, Magic or other card games where it's like the boxes that do well are going to do well, but it's not like English where every box is going to pretty much do well. I mean, because some boxes just don't. So for me, it felt like you needed more expertise both on the buying side and then also more expertise on knowing kind of like, I mean, I guess you could just go for the high class sets, but it just seemed like a little, I don't know, like a little higher like knowledge base to really invest in Japanese successfully.
Yeah, it's fair.
So speaking of trust, and there's obviously questions, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to. I'm
an open book. You
know,
hold his hand to the fire.
So when it comes to obviously English, right, I'm very transparent about what I am paying. And obviously, as we're all aware, when it comes to prices, there's roughly around a floor, I would say, for English, give or take, depending upon your pre-negotiated rates. Is it the same way for Japanese, where Japanese suppliers are paying a set rate, or is it one of these things where, depending upon the demand for the set, distributors for Japan will change the price of what they're selling to the retailers or the people that you directly work with to get your supply from? And then from there, how are they handling charging you? Is it a set price as well, or is it also based on demand? And how do you kind of decide, using whatever your answer is, that information to bake in what your typical margin is going to be and what you're hoping to make off of each and every set?
Yeah, that's a great question. So back in the good old days, 2021 Pokémon, it was the Wild Wild West. Japan didn't quite understand the hype of their products in America yet, so they were just happy to make 50% on their boxes, and we were able to sell them for like triple that. So like Shiny Star V MSRP was like $40. Shiny Star V, they were selling to me for like 55 because no one wanted them in Japan. And then we were able to sell them for like 85. We were doubling our money because in America, there wasn't a lot of Americans selling Japanese. So it was just me. That's why we got so big. There wasn't like a lot of Americans doing what we're doing now. So back in the day, it was the Wild Wild West. Now, Japanese cards are more popular here than they are in freaking Japan, it seems like. And all the Japanese vendors and distributors like kind of figured that out. There's no arbitrage to be made here. Like going from one Japanese supplier to another, you're going to get roughly the same price no matter where you go to. There's no one that's like in the dark about, oh, well, in America, it must be. There's no arbitrage available, really. And similar to here, we get our stuff from Southern and Alliance and GTS for a set price, cheap, $90, whatever, $100. And then the second, not wave, but like the reprints or whatever, the second waves come and then we pay more from distro. Japan, from what I understand, is very similar to that. And so after the initial release of a set, like Mega Dream, for example, my suppliers end up buying from Japan's secondary market. So they're going to freaking Sneaker Dunk, for example, and they'll buy in mass from other Japanese suppliers who get it from, backdoor deals and I'm sure all sorts of places. But for the most part, me and probably any other American you buy Japanese from, it's not coming directly from the Japanese distro, and it's probably not coming directly from a a Poke Any of Japan. It's probably coming from the secondary market. It's probably touched a couple hands already. And because of all the hand touching now, like the price goes up, so my vendor pays a lot more for booster boxes than she used to, because there's just such the demand in America has gotten so crazy that like you need the secondary market in Japan. And that's why I had to ditch one of my original suppliers, the guy I met on eBay. He was great, but he refused to buy stuff from the secondary market to send to me. He only felt comfortable selling me stuff from his distro, and it's just not enough. And so, he's not going to have a big business in the future, which is fine. But you kind of end up buying from the secondary market whether you want to or not. And that's why having like a good website, Pokeany.com or whoever, is important, because a lot of the stuff does come from the secondary market. So you want someone you can basically cancel if you get screwed. But yeah, as far as the margins go with the Japanese people, like the initial wave, they're making a killing. Secondary, like Mega Dream now, it's already reprinted once. People don't realize that. But they're making probably 25 to 30%, no different than we are, and probably less because of the bulk they're selling. They're not making a killing on this stuff either, because it just trades hands so many times. It's very different.
So what? Sorry, cut you off. I had a couple of questions. So you said back in the day with Shiny Star V, you were making triple what they were making, but you said you were buying it for 50 and selling it for 80. Did you mean you were making $30 a box, or what did you mean by triple? I guess.
Like I could like triple my money on some sets, like not necessarily Shiny Star V, but like Sky Legends. For whatever reason, that one I could triple my money on.
So when you say triple, did you mean you were buying it for 40 and selling it for 120, or what do you mean by triple? I guess. Like when you say triple your money, do you mean like because of the volume? Am I understanding?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
When I think triple, I think like 300% margin. That's where my mind keeps going.
Yeah, between 200 and 300% on some of the stuff.
Okay.
Because Japan, nobody wanted it. Like they were selling it for, if MSRP for, I'm making sets up here because it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
If MSRP for Shiny Star V is $40, the vendors are getting it for like what, probably 27 to 31, whatever it was. So they were happy to sell it to me at that, because it's just like us when Fusion
Strike was selling it to 90. You in like the 20s.
Yeah.
Because
they just wanted to break even on some of this shit. This was early on.
I thought you said you bought it for 50, and that's what it threw me off.
Eventually,
I don't know why.
Well, you probably did. I've been doing this for 5 years, so it's like things change a lot. But the margins back then, the TLDR, the margins back then were flipping nuts. And initially, the Shiny Star V, that was like our Fusion Strike, our Chilling Reign, where you as a vendor would literally sell for a loss sometimes just to get it off your books.
Yeah.
Like when Chilling Reign was $85 on TCG Player, nobody was making money on that. You were losing money. Japan went through that for my first year here. Shiny Star V, $27, $28 a box. You paid a couple bucks in shipping, but if you bought them in bulk, it was like nothing. And here, for whatever reason, people just effed with it. I don't know what it was. It was a novelty. Look at I have 50,000 followers on TikTok, and 95% of them came from my first year making Japanese videos, and the rest of them are complete BS. That's why I get no engagement on TikTok, because all the subscribers are 5 years old, because it was when Opossum Butt always talks about it, when the waifu cards were like $1,000 for no good reason, the Japanese waifus. That's the time we're talking about. So it's changed.
Obviously, it's different now, and it's not as much Wild Wild West. So do you know, like, I don't know how transparent your supplier is. Do you know how much they're typically paying for like a first wave of products? Because like you said, it's typically the second wave, they're having to go secondary market, but the first wave, it sounds like they're getting it direct from distro. Is that something kind of similar to us, where they're getting that set price of, I know inflation and tariffs change things, but like maybe 30, 35, or do you not really know kind of what that is?
They don't tell me directly. I would guess nothing's changed from the distro vendor perspective than it did with Shiny Star V. So I'm guessing my supplier's paying, 27 to 30 something dollars per box. But they're not selling it to me for like a cheaper price. They're doing the same thing all the vendors in America are doing. We're getting
Of course.
Phantasmal Flames for 95 or 100, and we're selling it for 250, whatever. So
it's kind of like Alex with where you go to your local card store in your area.
What about it?
I'm saying it's like kind of similar. It's not like they're selling it to you like just a little bit above wholesale. Like they're giving you a better deal, but you're realistically not paying too far off from market.
Yeah, I mean, the deals I usually get are like just large amounts, like taking large amounts of things, and often nowadays like anything sells, right? Collection boxes sell, tins sell, but when people want to, when you're getting large amounts, like you and Brian are, sometimes you want to get rid of large amounts of stock, and like I'm usually willing to pay large amounts of cases of sleeve blisters, 30 cases of collection boxes, 30 cases of tins. So like when I do stuff like that, I'll get like preferred pricing, but yeah, it's nowhere near like just above distro or anything. I mean, it's just a little below market,
Yeah, 100%. So Brian, as far as it goes, when it comes to one of the suppliers you're working with, your main girl, is it one of those things where like she's just kind of like, hey, here's what the demand is for this item. Here's what I'm going to sell it to you for. And then because you're one of her bigger buyers, she gives you like a discounted deal, or is it a set price every time? Or it's kind of like that.
It's like that. They're very aware of the market price. And like I said, there's really just no arbitrage anymore. There's no like, oh, Japan doesn't realize that Americans really like Mega Dream, or like they're all just as connected as we are. Like all the Japanese people probably have a similar, like my girl's probably on this podcast in Japan YouTube. Like they're all hyper aware of what we sell it at, and they price based on what we can sell it for. And that's why I think from an investment perspective, it's so risky, because if in the US the market price changed, like people decided Mega Dream too expensive, Ascended Heroes is coming soon, and there's going to be a ton of them. And if the American price of Mega Dream dropped to $80, Japan would, I think, just drop the price to $80 or to $70, because a lot of it's so, I think they just hyperinflate that shit to Americans, and they're just all kind of in on it together. I think a lot of their pricing is based way more on our market than it is on their cost, I guess is the most sexy way of putting that.
No, that makes sense. I mean, that's like exactly what I was just talking about earlier with Alex. It's not like the people he goes to his local card shop are like, yeah, we paid this much, so we'll give you this deal. It's like, no, here's what market is. We're going to give you a deal compared to market. So with your girl in particular, going back to it, it sounds like from what you're telling me, wave 2, a lot of it is from the secondary market. For wave 1, is there like a set amount she can typically give you consistently, or is it vary based off of how much print, or like how consistent are you in terms of like being able to get the numbers that you're wanting in terms of the demand?
I always get enough. Like, so Mega Dream, she had 2,000 boxes on release date. I ordered 400 of them initially because I wasn't sure what it would do. And then once those sold pretty quickly, I ordered another 200. And at that point, she was done. So I got 600 of the original 1,000. And then that's when she started collecting for the secondary market, which you would think the price would go up for me. But by then, one weekend into a new Japanese release, the market price in Japan goes down quite a bit. So buying from the secondary market sometimes doesn't change my price at all. It just really depends a lot. But there's never been a set where like her initial wave, I didn't get what I wanted. If I want 500 boxes, she has it for me. And rarely do I need more than 600. So she's pretty well set.
So you were saying, obviously at the time you were buying the mega boxes for around 90 and selling it for 120. Is that very atypical in terms of what you can kind of anticipate to see from a percentage when it comes to margin, or is that unique because of specialty sets? I don't know how different it is over there when it comes to specialty sets, and if you make more or less, kind of like what Alex was saying, one of the things he was scared of, and one of the reasons why he doesn't touch Japanese is because, you kind of have to know a little bit of the ins and outs on what does well. Is there like a kind of strategy for that for you, where it's like, okay, I think this set is not going to do as well, so I buy less, versus this set I think is going to do better, so I buy more? Or is it like kind of you buy the same because that's kind of an agreement you have with her? Or how do you kind of handle knowing how much to buy and then what you can anticipate your margins to be for each one of these sets.
So I actually have, this is going to be very valuable to the comment section, anyone else sort of business. I actually have like the sauce. I got to pee though, so I'm going to go upstairs for like 2 minutes. But I gotta leave a cliffhanger. It's the sauce because it's changed. It's changed in the past like 6 to 10 months, and you guys will get a lot of value out of it. So stand by.
But he's not gonna stop peeing until you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to make sure you do that.
One thing me and Brian have talked about, and then me and you talked about too separately, is talk about like how everyone like kind of watches everyone's stuff. Dude, it's crazy like how many like of the distributors and like the reps there and like know of like our channels and like watch our streams and like listen to things we say, like even like card shops around the area, like it's hard to go into them without like, oh yeah, they watch your channel, they watch this, watch your streams. It's like it's kind of crazy like how many people have an eye on things, which you're always like thinking about what you're saying,
Well, it's weird too, because like I obviously have the least amount of followers out of the three of us when it comes to sub count. I think
you also make quite a bit of the least content.
Yeah, that checks out. But I think PokeNE is the most, like around 60 or 70. Besides the point, what I was trying to get into with this is that when you think about like all three of our channels, all three of us are sub 100,000, right?
Yeah.
Like this is a very niche market. And so it's one of those things where you're like, at least how I think about it, and you might think about it the same, is it's like, oh, like I've got 30,000 subs, I got 10,000, I got whatever. Like that's not a lot when you go look at some other channels that have millions of subs, but yet somehow people know you. And it's just because you're in the environment where the niche is, right? And so it's like more likely that the people that you're interacting with are going to have heard from you. Right.
Yeah. Well, especially when you're talking like, market content, business content, like, investing or things like that, it attracts the attention of other business owners, other people who are curious about, other people's, views on the market, things like that. Like you'd be much more likely to see, like people at like a distro or at other card shops or other businesses watching this kind of content than you would someone who has maybe double, triple, quadruple the amount of subscribers, but they're making like, gameplay content or like, what I'm saying? So like, it makes sense that because we're in the business, like finance investing space, why, other people would kind of keeping track of it. I think it probably has more to do with the actual subscriber count or whatever, how big the channels are.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I mean, it's weird because you always want to look and be like, oh, subscriber count, it's the end all be all, but reality.
By the way, it's not. I mean, they don't even show them anymore. Have you seen that's like the new update? Like you don't even see subscribers when you're scrolling through anymore on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah. So that's like one of the new updates is like when you're scrolling through, if you just like go scroll through, it doesn't show the subscribers. You have to actually click on the channel for it to show. So phone app or PC app or PC website, it will not show you the subscribers and the channels anymore until you click on them.
Oh, was it not always like that?
No, it's like an update. And so, I listened to a Gary Vee video about it, and like it's becoming less about your following, just more about, the content. I mean, everyone's kind of, I think they're kind of taking more of the TikTok model where they're giving more of that, organic search a chance. And to where it's like, oh, well, before it was really about having followers. Now it's really about just putting out good content because anyone can find it. And if, you're getting good views and the algorithm's pushing, I mean, obviously like bigger channels are still going to have an easier time, but
all the money in the world, you can't make a freaking website work.
Organic search is getting more popular now. Brian, have you noticed that they got rid of the subscribers? Like on YouTube, they stopped showing.
I did notice that. That is very interesting. YouTube, it's just Google wanting to hurt less and less feelings.
Well, I think, Gary Vee was talking about it. It's like it's getting more, pushed towards like organic, like organic growth, organic. Instead of all just like, oh, it's going to push it out to all your subscribers and kind of the big guys are always going to get all the views. It's kind of not like that anymore.
I think it's great for new people, like for new YouTubers. I think it's I was actually going to make a video about how it's the best time to start a channel because you're not going to be immediately judged on your sub count, but you'll be judged on your content.
Yeah.
Which I think is very valuable for new people. For people like me who have egos and want to see that 64,000 number, I hate it. But
That sounds
Yeah.
so funny. Judge me not by the count of my subs, but the quality of my content.
Right. It's what a novel concept. I think from a viewer perspective and from a new content creator perspective, it is probably a net positive because I've actually watched a couple videos that randomly came across my feed and they were really good. And I'm like, oh, I bet this guy has like, 20,000, 40,000 subs. And I click and they got like 3,000. I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. So it's a net positive, but I just think it's funny because we got rid of the dislike button around this time last year and it just seems too poetic.
That's what I was going to say. The thing that really irked me the most is when they got rid of the dislike button, dude. Because like
it's kind of a good thing though, because I feel like you get better engagement through comments than you do likes and dislikes. So then it just pushes the haters to like go one step further and leave you a comment.
I mean, yes, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I do agree with that. But it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things that's annoying though, because like on a serious note, there would be so many times where I'd want to go watch tutorial videos to do something. And then I go click on the tutorial video. And before I'd be like, oh, there's so many dislikes. This obviously is someone that's just wasting your time. And now you can't even tell. So I have to pause the video before I even watch it, go read the comments to see what the comments say before I even watch an actual tutorial video. And so it just makes it so much worse now when you're trying to navigate what's actually helpful for that type of content.
Yeah, tutorial and movie trailers. Yeah, like, a real movie trailer.
That's so true, especially with AI. It's going to get so much worse. Holy crap. I didn't even think about that part.
So you want me to give you the real sauce here?
Yeah, I'm ready for sauce, guys.
No, this is better sauce than I was pitching. Dislikes on YouTube. It's a Google Chrome extension. And it shows you the dislikes on every video.
I'll just save you guys some time. I get more dislikes than anyone here.
Some of your videos do get I have dislikes on my, like, I can look at dislikes on any video at any time because
return YouTube dislikes Chrome extension feature.
Well, you know what's funny about the dislikes?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Subsequently, the dislikes, they always have the highest views. So I have a love, not even love-hate, a love relationship with dislikes because I know whenever I start getting a bunch of dislikes, I know the views on that video are going to be fire.
Yep, I'm with you on that one. It's the controversial ones that do good.
Yep.
Oh man, I'm excited. All right, let's hear it. Let's hear about that sauce, dude.
Yeah. So I was so hyped. So how? Oh my god! Rephrase the question quickly. Like, give me a speed run of it.
Oh, a speed run of the question.
Yeah.
Basically, the speed run of the question that I was asking you was, I said that when it comes to like the example you gave originally, you said you're paying for the new set like $90, selling for $120. I basically said, like, how atypical is that for most of the product you're selling margin wise? Like, are you making roughly around the same margin, or is that different based on the fact that this is a specialty set? Is it the same for a non-specialty set, more or less? And then also as well, when it comes to kind of supply, how do you kind of handle your ordering? Is it one of these things where it's like you think some set's going to do better than another, and so you're like going to order more this time around? Or is it like something you have pre-negotiated with your girl where you buy the same amount each time and you're required to pick up a certain amount? Or like, kind of, how does that necessarily work when it comes to like the schematics of you knowing what is a good amount for you to pick up, or what you can kind of expect when it comes to margin right before a set comes out?
Yeah. So the margins on a set, I mean, typically I want to upcharge about 18 to 22%. Seems to be kind of the sweet spot in that area. I could sell for more, but then I've done the math before, like a year ago, and I found a sweet spot of like 18 to 22% is good for the amount of effort it takes someone to pack it and ship it out. And it's this perfect balance of selling enough quantity and making enough profit where it's a perfect balance. Because obviously, if you raise the price, you make more money per box, but you're going to sell less boxes in theory. And I found that 18 to 22% is perfect. And so that's about right for anything. If there are cases where I can get a way better deal, like for 2 or 3 days, there was an arbitrage opportunity where my girl had way more Mega Dream than she needed, and she was able to sell it to me for a cheaper price. and where I could have made like 25%. And so the devil on my shoulder was like, oh, you should keep the price the same. But what I did was I lowered my price and I just bought a shitload of stuff from her, and I sold like 200 boxes in one shipment. And so like I really like that range. And that includes
are like sealed cases still a big thing for the Japanese product?
Yeah, I should clarify. When I say cases, I'm going strictly quantity. Sealed cases themselves, they have a premium, and I don't touch that. So yeah, when I say cases, I'm talking quantity. Japanese people, they want a lot more money for the sealed case than why just like that? Americans. Well, one, it's harder to ship them. Like just in bulk, again, when you're buying 5 or 6 figures of stuff. Like my girl has these boxes that she's just like us. She's a strategist where she knows exactly what size of box to use for what order. And so the way the boxes fall into this box, she can get a maximum amount of them out to me for the smallest dollar amount.
Okay.
And cases are bulkier. And so it raises the shipping a bit.
So there's no like technical like case hits.
There's no case like premium from a pull perspective.
Like if you pull a Gengar, you could pull another Gengar in that case possibly.
Yeah, it's not white shorts. It's the same as English stuff.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, so basically 18 to 22%. I'll sell sealed cases at a premium sometimes, like I do with high class sets, but for the most part, I don't touch those anymore. It's too much work. As far as like, how do I know how many to buy? I used to do the pre-order system where I would pre-sell several days before release, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, I sold 1,000 boxes. I need to buy 1,000 boxes. The reason I stopped doing that, this is the sauce, guys. Like this is like low-key what's going to save you a lot of mistakes and money. The pre-sale method, just like with English cards, does not work with Japanese anymore, because what happens is a lot of you guys that pre-ordered Prismatic from your favorite Pokémon competitors, you might have seen that your order got canceled because the market price shot up after the set came out. People pre-ordered Prismatic for $50 in ETB. As soon as market price hit 100, your order got canceled and they sold it for 100. That happens with Japanese too. Japanese can go up or down considerably. So there was once Paradigm Trigger was the first set that I got really effed. I pre-sold like 500 boxes for, I'm making these numbers up for math, $100 a piece. And then I thought I would be able to buy them for like $80 a piece. Well, between the week pre-order period, the market price in Japan went up. So the lowest price I could buy these things at was like $98 a piece, which after shipping, blah, 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 I was losing a couple bucks per box. So I was like, ooh, that sucked. Vice versa, I would have sets where I would pre-order them at say $100, thinking I would get them for like $80. And then as the release date came, the market price here crashed to $80. And the market price in Japan went down to like 65. I'm making these numbers up. And so it was like, okay, I just overcharged the shit out of the Americans. I'm getting a way better deal from the Japanese. So for these suckers that already bought, I could take a huge profit cut. But then they're going to be pissed off if I lower the price for the second wave. Or I could be nice and adjust the price of the people that already bought. It just became a mess. It's a mess either way. Like, think of all the people that bought Phantasmal Flames for $300 a booster box. That wasn't too long ago, right? But it was long enough ago where people are like, oh, damn it, I jumped the gun. Now imagine you sold Phantasmal Flames 2 days ago for $300, and you just got wave 2, and now you're selling it for $215. Yeah. You can see the outrage. That's how Japanese is. There's this, it moves so quickly that people on day 1 might pay 20% more than people on day 2. So here's the sauce, guys. Again, I'm giving you the sauce. I just stopped doing pre-orders because it just got too messy. So for how to know how many to order, I wait until, so a Japanese set comes out on Fridays, and then I wait until Saturday to put, I guess technically I'm pre-ordering it, but by then the price is finalized for the weekend. Japanese sets final prices on a new set, like Friday night US time, Saturday afternoon Japan time. And you can be like 90% sure that that price will stay the same through the weekend. So Mega Dream, it was all sorts of crazy, and then it came out on a Friday, and then it was all sorts of crazy, and then by Saturday morning, pretty much all the Japanese suppliers were like, all right, $100 shipped. I was like, great. Then I pre-sold and I said, hey guys, this will ship out to you on Tuesday or Wednesday, $120, and people bought them. And so that's been my technique, is like, if I'm going to ship the set out on a Tuesday, I price that shit on Saturday or Sunday, and I sell it for that. And then it's like 99% sure it's going to be okay. For future releases, what I've learned, take notes, everybody. For future waves, like after the initial wave, that's when things get really messy. Things can drop or climb considerably. And with Mega Dream, bad example, Mega Dream is very consistent. The price hasn't really faltered too much at all. I think on TCG Player it's like $110, $115 maybe. And it's not that far off for a Japanese set. Usually it's quite a bit more volatile than that. But I'm gun shy now. I've learned to be gun shy, because with a lot of sets, I'd be like, oh wow, first wave sold crazily. I'm going to buy 300 boxes now, and then the price tanks. So I basically just buy between 40 and 80 boxes at a time, and I go that route. And my competitors don't do that because they don't have as good of suppliers as I do. Like, I can get shit shipped to me in 2 days. So if I only buy 60 boxes on Monday, even if they all sell Tuesday, I only got to wait one more day to get 60 more. A lot of the people that are new, and I know DJ Poke Center, he's new to the game. I don't know what his connections are yet, but a lot of new people to the game, they might take a week to get their product from Japan. And so they might be like, well, shit, I got to order 100 boxes. And then a week goes by, the market price could be way different. They're like, well, shit, I better order 200 now just to be sure that it's, that they try to plan ahead. And time is what'll get you in this game. Time, as we all know, time can make or break deals. And so if you've got someone that takes a week to get you product, you could screw yourself or screw your consumer every single time. When you've got someone like me that can get stuff in 2 days latest, I don't need to guess on the market as much. I don't need to speculate. Yeah. Sometimes speculation would be great. Like, maybe I should buy 1,000 Mega Dream boxes right now because next week it'll be $200 a box. But I'm not there anymore. I don't need to risk shitloads of money. I'd rather just make 20%. I'd rather make 20% a million times than 1,000,000% 20 times. I just want. Yeah. That's just where I'm at.
Guys, we should probably go ahead and comment on the breaking news. People mentioned in the chat. PSA has acquired Beckett.
Wow.
I'm reading the article now. PSA parent company, Collectors, has reached an agreement to acquire grading competitor Beckett. Beckett will remain an independent brand and continue to utilize its own operations, customer service, grading standards, marketplace, magazines, price guides. Collector said. Nat Turner actually said, I'm pleased to share that the iconic Beckett is joining Collector's family. Will continue to operate on its own independent brand within our portfolio, etc. So
wow,
they own Beckett. So now they've bought SGC and Beckett. What's next?
When's the SEC stepping in? This is crazy. They're gonna damn, that's nuts.
This is what I told everyone would happen too. Like, it's just slowly but surely. It's like when everyone gets on board with these new grading, like, oh my gosh, with tags. It's like, dude, if Tag ever started to do anything substantial, PSA will just buy them. Like
100%.
PSA is going to keep becoming the Goliath of, they're going to remain the Goliath. I mean, I know CGC does really well, but again, I'm not trying to like talk down CGC. I just want to explain the reason CGC's numbers are so high on the grade. If you guys don't know this, and I can't reveal anyone's deals. I know in private. They offer ridiculous grading deals for companies that grade, tens of thousands of cards a month, like down to dollars. And so like they're giving these crazy discounted deals to everyone that's grading tons of cards, whereas PSA doesn't really work deals. So the difference of PSA grading 1-2 million cards a month, they're getting $19 plus a card, plus, up charges. With CGC grades 500 cards a month, they're getting $6-7 for a lot of those likely. And so it's completely different on those, what people are paying to grade. So just understand that. But yeah, Beckett is now owned by PSA.
That's insane.
Wow. Yeah, it is. That's
just more monopolies.
The thumbnails are gonna be crazy this week.
Yep. All right. I got video tomorrow. It's great.
I'll tell you some crazy shit would happen within the next 24 hours. I was about 22 hours early.
So Brian,
man.
So you're obviously, so it sounds like your strategy is basically you wait until the Saturday So the day after, in other words,
Yeah.
before you start to buy in price, is your girl then? Is she not like kind of giving you a price that's set like a month in advance? It's like an ever adjusting price in the lead up to the set release.
So mine stopped doing that for the same reason that I stopped doing it, because it gets messy. But there are other suppliers, some of them I do work with relatively regularly, that they start pricing a set a month before it comes out. They go, hey, this will ship out the day of release. Here's the current price. And yes, it is ever changing. It changes day by day up until it releases a set. I think that would be stressful and messy. And I think it would piss a lot of people off, because if I would have pre-ordered Mega Dream a month ago, I think it was like $140 a box they wanted. And if that same supplier was selling them now or even selling them 2 weeks later for $120 a box, I'd be like, yo, can you like match the price? So they don't do that. It's final price. If you agreed to 140, you're paying 140. So I think it's sloppy, but yeah, people do that.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like then it's very much a patience game with your business, and it's very much like hey, I am not it's not saying, well, to be fair, you are working with a retailer, right? You're not working directly with the distributor, so you do have a little bit more flexibility in the aspect of like, hey, I'm not bound to order a certain amount to get a certain price. I am not given a specific heads up on what the price is going to be, and it's going to be at that set price. It's very much hey, I have someone that happens to be a retailer in Japan. They can get me a certain amount of product, and the price in which that product is going to be will constantly fluctuate based off of the market price at the time. And that, the most of that volatility will come around the time of the release, and about 24 hours after the release is when you can kind of get your anticipation on what you think is going to be a more stable price. And then from there, you're going to obviously get a lot better of a picture of what you can buy it for, and then what your margins are going to be.
Yeah, that's 100%. That's how I do it. It's worked for me. I'm sure other people have different opinions, but whatever. It's what's worked. I've been doing this for 5 years, and I felt I'm as least stressed as I've ever been when it comes to Japanese releases.
That's, I mean, who needs stress? So then
it's really funny. It's weird. Like everyone's always got opinions in like, comment sections, like Reddit groups, whatever, Discord. But like, it's weird that like not many other business owners have other opinions on how other businesses are doing things. It's just like, oh, you figure something that worked for you, cool. Like, oh, you got your thing going on, you got your thing. It's all the criticism comes from usually people that aren't doing it. Yeah,
that's a good overall opinion. It's the comment sections are, they're something. They're critical.
Well, because everyone's an expert. You can sit there and like fine tune the videos down to like a couple second clip and be like, well, you said this here, and so I caught you. To the point where it's almost worth it. Like I do sometimes. I'll just throw random stuff in a video just to make sure people catch it and leave comments about it. Just like random stuff that's obviously off the wall or ridiculous, just to see when people catch it. Like, well, you said this. Like, you said this wrong. This isn't that price or not that product. It's always fun. I got a little troll we talked about before. I got a troll going on right now. It'll play out this week.
We'll tease that later. So not on the stream. You'll tease that later. All right, I'll do a couple more questions because I could go on forever, and then we'll take a couple of questions and then we'll get out of here. We'll try and cut it short. So as far as it goes, these will be the last couple of questions I'll ask, and then we can move.
Did you write down questions?
Did I write down questions?
Well, I see you looking off like you're prepared, bro. I like this.
No, I'm not. Do you guys ever do this thing where like sometimes when you have a train of thought and you're trying to focus on it, you have to like kind of stare off into the oblivion and hyper focus on that thought, but you can't like make direct eye contact with someone because then you start to lose that train of thought?
That's not a strategy I use, but that's something I would do. Like I can picture it.
So like I'm like looking at the camera right now, like on my screen, I'm looking at you guys. And then sometimes when I'm thinking about what I'm going to say, I'll start like going off to the side like this. And I'm almost like zoned out on what I'm visually seeing, but mentally I'm hyper focused on what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense?
That's good. I usually just blurt shit out without any focus at all, and it kicks me in the ass sometimes. So I like your technique. I think you should stick with that.
Yeah, you're like, I just say stuff and don't think. That's funny.
On camera, recorded forever on the internet. No biggie.
Yeah, my wife will be surprised when I tell her that I actually think about what I say before I say it. So I'm in the same camp as you. So as far as like your business, obviously you're saying right now you're doing about 5 or 6 100,000. It sounds like on average a month.
Mm-hmm.
Of that, at this point, what percentage of that is comprised of Japanese? What percentage of that is comprised of English?
And what percentage is comprised of binders and sleeves?
Give me the breakdown. Give me the breakdown, I guess.
Question.
Give me the breakdown, yeah.
God, a good businessman would have those numbers just in his head at all times.
Dan, Catch 'em Up Collectibles would know.
Dan would definitely know.
I get asked questions all the time about my stream numbers and my packs, like what's selling. I'm like, guys, I'm not Dan. I'm sorry.
That Dan is on a different freaking level of analytics. Danalytics, we'll call him.
Danalytics, that's good.
Is that not a thing that people say? Because that needs to be a thing people say.
It's gonna be now.
I'm trademarking that right now.
Can you run the Danalytics on that?
Danalytics. Yeah, that's gonna be a thing people say now. So I wonder if I can just like kind of extrapolate based on hold on a sec. There's gotta be a sales. I guess to answer it in general, I mean, when a new set comes out from Pokemon, like a new English set, I probably sell roughly $275,000 to $300,000 of it. So if there's like a normal set release every 5-ish week, every like 2 to 3 months, that's around $300,000. So the rest of it's Japanese. I guess that sounds so bad that I don't have like a direct answer. God, that makes me sound so stupid. I wonder.
So then, are you kind of selling most of your product on new set releases, and then that's kind of it, or is there like product you're constantly selling in between?
No, and that's what makes it kind of so easy to calculate is like the distros, as you know, you get the initial release, and then if there's a wave 2, you get a wave 2. And then that's about it. Like every so often you get a deal. They're like, hey, do you want to buy this? And we'll give you this. But like, it's not that much. So yeah, basically I would guess I'm like 60% Japanese, 40% English would be my guess. I'm actually pulling up my top selling items. Okay. So in the past year, $200,000 of sales was Terrestrial Festival alone. $150,000 was Phantasmal Flames. $100,000 was Mega Evolution. $82,000 was Destined Rivals. And then the rest were just miscellaneous Japanese sets for a while. I'm going to say 60% Japanese, 40% English, -3% binders.
So would you say then, is it fair to say that probably 2 or 3 years ago, it's probably 80-20 or even more so in terms of disparity between Japanese to English?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like a few years ago, I barely got any English at all. And even when I did, it was like I was breaking even on half the shit. So
in terms of your allocation allotment, is that something that you kind of built up a ton before, obviously, when things were kind of prevalently available and margins were a lot thinner for English?
My strategy with English when the TCG player price was barely more than the distro price, it was like, I might as well just buy as much as I can reasonably afford and just sell for break even, because I knew that it would be a good investment for allocation's sake. So that was my strategy. I was like, I'm just going to churn it through. And so I guess I was always thinking about allocations with English. And now, like Alex was joking, I'm just buying binders and sleeves knowing that I'll never sell them. But
what about like, where do you think most of your traffic's coming from these days? Are you still running like running ads? Is it the email list now like has become big enough to where like the majority of the sales come from that now, or is it just organic traffic at this point?
It's mostly just organic traffic. I wish I knew more where sales came from on my Wix analytics I have right here. There is, it's almost all direct, and then there's Google organic, which I guess just Google suggestions.
So you're not even having to run like as many ads as you had before.
Yeah, no. Direct is most of it. 78% direct, 11% Google organic, and 10% Facebook/Instagram paid advertising.
Well, that was another thing I was going to ask you, but before I get into that, so then as far as it goes, just so that I'm kind of understanding it, it sounds like then kind of how your business was is you kind of found your niche with Japanese because there was a huge arbitrage play.
Mm-hmm.
And then slowly the market got smarter and you recognized that it made more sense for you, even though there wasn't a ton of money at the time, to diversify a little bit in English. And you obviously played the game of building up your allocation allotment, even though it wasn't as lucrative, on the chance that product would eventually be better margin and you could continuously build that up. And then obviously that paid off. And you're still doing Japanese, but obviously it looks like that percentage between Japanese and English is, slowly starting to kind of close the gap on one another as English becomes more lucrative compared to Japanese. Would that be fair to assess?
Yeah, I think that's a great TLDR Pokey. And I'll need to look at the data analytics on quantity, because the dollar amount this year on English has been crazy, but the stuff's also a lot more than it used to be. So I'll have to look into that, but that's a good TLDR.
And then would you say then, as far as your business goes, how, like when you first started the business, marketing wise, what was kind of the strategy with that? Was it doing a lot of Facebook and Google like ads? Was it just you posting a ton on Instagram? And then how has that kind of changed from back then versus now? I mean, obviously you have a very successful YouTube channel that has 60,000+ followers. I assume that probably does a lot of the heavy lifting at this point. But before then, like kind of what did that look like?
Yeah, so TikTok was really a big deal for us year one. I watched a lot of Gary V videos, and he always said make 10 to 12 TikTok videos a day. And I'm like, I don't think anyone actually does that. Like, I think he's full of shit too. But I decided, I'm like, what if I actually did? Like, what if I actually literally did what this guy's probably like saying hyperbolically? And whether he was being hyperbolic or not, I literally did 10 to 12 TikTok videos per day. It was basically the same video every single time. It was about my stupid Charizard single cards and then some Japanese booster boxes I eventually got. And what I learned from I learned from some business guy on YouTube that whatever niche you think you're in, it is way bigger than you think. And if you posted with 50,000 followers multiple times per day, the chance of the same person seeing more than one video per day are very slim. And I was like, I kind of went with that mentality of like, okay, because my thought was I'm going to annoy people who follow me if I post 10 to 12 times a day. What I learned was that's not true, because again, the chances that someone's going to see you on their feed even 3 times are so slim with the gajillion other creators out there. So making 10 to 12 videos a day on TikTok, at least in 2021, 2022, you weren't going to be, your videos weren't going to be shown to the same person multiple times. Your videos were going to get shown to just different, like there's just so many people. There's a shitload of people on the internet. So that was my whole strategy. It was just completely inundate TikTok with videos. And if you make 10 to 12 a day and you do that for 100 days, you've got well over 1,000 videos. Mm. And then if you assume 1 out of every 1,000 videos goes viral, which I think is a fair assumption, then that's 1 million views right there.
Yeah.
And then that's 1 million people that a good chunk of them will follow you and actually will want to hear what you said. It was just inundation. That's all it was.
Yeah. And like, I mean, again, like a lot of like the whole guru content stuff, a lot of it's bullshit, but like,
yeah,
they all have like nuggets here and there. Like one of the things, like I remember Grant Cardone saying when he was talking to like a friend of his, saying like, man, all I do is I see your ads all the time. I'm getting so sick of it. And he's just like, that's okay. You can just block me. I don't care. You're not my customer anyway.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. It's like, dude, who cares what everyone thinks about it? They're not your customers. Like the people that are complaining about it or upset about it, that's okay. Like it's going to get to the customers eventually. If you don't like it, that's fine.
Wait until it becomes a meme. All of a sudden, in my garage with my Lamborghini becomes.
Yup.
And that's kind of how I take it all the time. Whenever I have people like hate on anything, like I'm doing, I'm just like, that's cool. Like it's not for you, so that's cool. Like
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get the people that it is for. It's not for you.
So then
Yeah,
it sounds like you made obviously a lot of your kind of business marketing off of advertising on TikTok and social media platforms. How much did you or do you spend on paying for ads? Like, did you spend a lot of money on that early on, or do you currently spend a lot of money on that, or how's that kind of evolved or changed?
Yeah, so I'll give your people some more sauce. Paid ads, it's really not necessary for a long time. Like with TikTok, we did the 10 to 12 videos a day thing for a long time. And
was it just TikTok or also Instagram and other short platforms?
I reposted to IG and YouTube, but like they didn't do very well. It was nothing notable. TikTok was notable. And so in that time, we were able to get about $1 million in sales, all Japanese. We were able to get on Vice, which didn't do as well as for us as you'd think it would, but that got 1 million views, which was great. And then we were able to start a YouTube channel, which I think we got to like 2,000 subs pretty quickly based on the TikTok stuff. So all that, organically, over $1 million in sales without a distributor. Anyone out there that wants to start a business either thinks I'm making it up or they think that it can't ever be done again. And so it's not true. The paid advertising came quite a bit later, and I really sucked at it, and I lost a shitload of money doing it because I didn't know what I was doing. And then if you have like Wix or Shopify, they do have like, you can they're like kind of a middleman, and they'll kind of set up the Facebook ads and stuff for you. And you pay, say, $500 a month. They'll take 450 of that and apply it towards their ads, and then they keep 50 as a fee. I'm making these numbers up. So I started doing that like 2 years ago, and I was putting down about $1,000 a month in paid ads. I didn't see a ton of growth from that. I don't think they did it very well. And so starting this year, actually, I started doing my own ads on Facebook Ad Manager, the back end of that. I did a lot of research on how to run a good ad campaign. And for us, what works is we spend about $1,000 a month. If there's a new set out, like right now is Mega Dream, a lot of activity. So I'm throwing down $1,000 a month in between sets, or like when Ascended Heroes comes out, since we're not going to get like anything, I'm not going to advertise at all because there's no point. Like, what am I going to do? Pay per click to come on my site and see 0 in stock? That's stupid. So ironically, I only do paid advertising when it's like a popular set that I can also get a shitload of, like Mega Dream popular, and I can get infinite of them. That's when I'll go $1,000 a month in paid ads. When it's a set that's popular, like Destined Rivals, but I only can get 600 or 700 boxes from my main distro, I cut all my ads off because there's no point paying for people to see an empty website. So I think that's sauce right there, because people would think it'd be the other way around. And it's like, you don't pay for something you can get for free. Right. People will find my website when Ascended Heroes comes out. They'll find me. They'll be disappointed, but they'll find me and be disappointed for free. The most I've ever spent on ads, I think, was like $2,000 a month. And that was in the Shiny Treasure time period where a lot of the money was wasted. If I don't get people to my site for usually between 9 cents on a really good day and 27 cents on a really shitty day, a good dollar amount per click, a cost per click, has been between 17 and like 27 cents. That seems to be a sweet spot for my like funny videos. And I can track the percentage of purchases through like Facebook pixels. But at this point, privacy has gotten so over the top that even a pixel isn't a great way to track a purchase. So now I put coupon codes. This is more sauce. Put a coupon code on your ad. So at the end of your funny ad, be like coupon code egg, like the video where I get eggs thrown at me, to save free shipping. And then I can see how many people use the coupon code. And I'll be like, oh, okay, so on this ad, 200 people made a purchase based on this coupon code. It was a good ad. It's kind of what I do now.
Okay, interesting. Wow. So then it sounds like it's one of those things where like ads can work, but it's very much not something that you're just like using all the time. It's very subjective script when you are kind of wanting to run them. You're kind of letting natural clicks, I guess, if you want to call them, through you marketing elsewhere through socials kind of run. And then from there, when there's an opportunity for you to make a lot more money and it's a matter of like supply, is where you give it a little bit of almost like a juiced bump, because you know that you're going to be able to consistently have product and it's not just going to be an empty site.
100%. And I think what people really need to know is paid advertising is no better than organic advertising. Like, they're literally the same as far as effectiveness goes. It's just time. So if you make a really good video, like a really good short, it's like, yo, come to my website, I have Japanese stuff, look at me. And you put $0 on that, the customers that come to your website from that video are literally the same exact caliber of customers that will come if it was a paid ad. There's no difference. So paying for the video to be shown in front of more people, it would be like if I had a paper ad and I would just pay some random little annoying dude to walk around the mall and shoving it in people's faces. Like, if they don't want to see it or look at it and they don't care, you're just wasting money on your little psycho you're throwing to the mall.
Right.
It makes, like, I would highly recommend that 99% of people that watch this that want to become business people, you don't make a paid ad for the next like 5 years. Like, just do organic videos, because you're gonna put too much weight into the paid ad and you're gonna suck at it, and then you're not gonna see the results and you're gonna spend money when you could have just been focusing on good organic content, whether it's funny or informative, and you could get rich off that. I always say I sold $1 million of Japanese shit without distro, without paid ads, and without a YouTube follow. I had TikTok videos. $1 million from TikTok videos.
You mean Japanese gold? Japanese treasures?
It's funny, yeah. The Japanese treasures.
I mean, it's very similar to like how I kind of started, because at first I was like, oh, what if I do ads? And then I saw how much ads cost, and I was like, what if I don't do ads?
Mm-hmm.
And I just said to myself, all right,
nowadays, influencer marketing is really what you want to do. So like, you run ads on channels like, Nostalgianomics or something.
I mean, if you want to send your money somewhere, might as well make it go to use, right? But no, like, I literally started off my business. I just created a website on Wix, and I had access to distribution and was like, all right, here's what I can buy. I wonder what people are willing to sell for that's considered a profit. And so I went into like Discord channels and like, the like Pokemon Discord channels, buy, sell, whatever. And I was like, hey, I have a distribution. Here's what I can buy them for. What are you willing to pay me so I can make money for anyone interested? And I just kept doing that. And then eventually people just like started to buy from me consistently. And then before you knew it, I had like a regular clientele base, and I just was able to make sales through them just going to the website. But realistically, I was doing most of my, client outreach or like sourcing through like Discord and Reddit and stuff. And then of course, eventually, YouTube came next after that. But it was never one of these things where it's like, let me just kind of spam my wallet, because I didn't have money. I barely had money for, inventory, let alone being able to pay for ads. So it's kind of like you just go the route of saying, okay, what is something that's not going to cost me money but can lead to sales? It's your time, and that's
learn from them, because I'm a bad businessman. I've never like done all these cool advertising techniques.
Well, you make content.
That's totally not true, Alex.
Like,
he was just telling you.
Doing.
He was just saying not that long ago that if you post the same 12 videos, that eventually you're going to see a ton of, and for you post the same 12 slop videos every single, right? And it's the same thing. I mean, if we're being honest.
Hey, look. Sometimes I switch me from one side of the thumbnail to the other. Sometimes the parts are green. Sometimes they're red. Okay. Give me some credit here.
Oh my god!
Have you seen the shelves lately? The shelves are different.
Something's changed.
Have you?
I like that little wink.
Oh, that's so good.
Man, that's so funny.
That's crazy.
That's so funny. No, for real. Like, you guys
you kind of set yourself up for that one.
No, I'm saying it tongue in cheek, but like seriously, like you guys. I really haven't thought, like, I haven't like went down that route and like tried a bunch of different types of advertising with the business ever. It is interesting.
Worked
to hear
out
you
well
guys
for you
talk
so
about it.
far.
You know, it is interesting to hear you guys talk about all the different like strategies you guys took.
Yeah, I don't think your channel, like, I don't think it would make sense at all for like Nostalgianomics to do paid ads on your type of video. So like,
No.
I don't even know what you'd want. I don't think that would really.
I mean, I
be
guess unless you're
effective.
trying to like gain subscribers or views,
That's
or, like,
literally it.
inorganic views or something. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah,
so
which-
like some people, they'll never.
But I already
do
bought.
that.
I already bought all the views. So
Oh, sure, you did that already. Yeah,
Ah,
I already did that.
you did that already. That's facts. That's
Yeah.
facts.
That's so funny. Yeah, those bots are working well for you these days, aren't they? On overtime.
They're real consistent.
Yeah, same hate comments every week. It's crazy how that works.
As long as I can keep enough ad revenue coming in to pay the bots, we're good.
Yeah, seriously.
That's what they say. Roll it back into your
That's the
business, right?
model.
You just gotta roll
Reinvesting.
It's just free real estate, dude. Oh, that's so funny. Let's answer a couple of questions because we're pushing 2 hours, and then we'll get out of here. First and foremost, want to once again thank you so much for coming on, Brian. Really insightful. I spammed a bunch of questions from you, so I appreciate you answering it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And sharing your sauce. But leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, really helps the channel. And then of course, Alex and Brian, their links are down in the description below. We'll answer a couple questions and we'll get out of here. Starting off with the super chat. Shout out to Abraham as always. I traded 4 Evolving Skies ETBs at 350 per for 4 Destin booster boxes at 400. So if my math is correct, it only cost me $90 per box.
Got a girl math joke here.
I get it. I actually get it.
I love that.
Oh god.
I'm not getting involved in the drama, but I get it.
I get what Abraham's saying.
Is there drama? Is there drama with this context?
There could be.
Oh my god, which content creator are we?
I don't know. One of
Oh
them.
my god. Is it a content creator that you've got yourself in hot water in?
I'm not involved in anything, man.
All
I
right,
just make my same slop and lay it.
It's the same 12 videos.
Sloponomics is crazy. All right, here we go. All right, I guess we'll stay out of it then. I'll have to.
Sloponomics.
Got Danalytics and
Analytics.
Damn, Dan got such a good one. I got such a shitty one.
Dan scored on that.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, 2 good ones in one day. We're having a treat, guys. All right, if you had to sell one now, which would you choose? Prismatic Evolutions ETB or case or Paldea Evolved booster box case? Probably Paldea Evolved booster box case. I feel like that's the easy one.
I mean, they're such different price points.
I know. I mean, actually, that's a lie. I feel like I would. Oh wow! Actually, I
a
have
good
to
question.
think. Yeah, I have to think.
Usually it's very obvious for me, but this one's actually a pretty good one.
Yeah, I feel like actually maybe Prismatic, because Prismatic is the thing is you assume they're going to keep pushing more Prismatic, and so the price is probably going to take a while for it to really get to the returns that you want it to get you. And Paldea Evolve is about to go out of rotation in a couple months now, so you know that it's not just going to tank outside of just general market volatility. Like it's not getting reprinted or more supply that's going to suppress it the same way as the ETBs.
I'm gonna say if you had to sell one, you get a second job and keep both.
I would keep the Paldea Evolve case because
yeah, I agree.
I think if there's a non-zero chance that they'll make more prismatic ETBs, but I'd say there's about a 0 chance they'll make more Paldea Evolve booster boxes.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, we'll do rapid fire. Question: will the stream ever start? People are asking if it's your fault, Brian, that the stream started late.
Partially.
For
being honest, we were all here, but it was partially my fault.
When will people realize they aren't going to reprint Black Bolt and White Flare? That's not really a question, but
I don't know, man.
It's
pretty new. It's pretty new.
Oh my god. Okay. Flower City Cards always coming in clutch with my favorite questions every single week. Shout out to him. Pizza Lunchables or Uncrustables, which is superior? That is such an easy question.
Yeah, it's Pizza Lunchables.
Are you serious?
Oh shit! It was a
No
hot take.
way. Pizza Lunchables?
Bro, pizza Lunchables are fire. That got me through elementary and
You
middle.
go with
and
now.
high
You get
school.
the double cheese or you get the pepperoni.
Oh my God.
Pepperoni for sure. One of
Then
my
it gives
best
you- then it gives you
memories.
somewhere to hold. You hold the pepperonis.
Oh my
Yes.
golly.
Yes, one of my best memories. I got a misprint Pizza Lunchables box once.
A
It had
misprint.
4 pizzas in it instead of 3. I distinctly remember this day.
Dude, you
Like
should have
5th
kept it
grade.
sealed.
Bro, Pat Flynn wasn't
Idiot.
singing yet.
Yeah.
I was the coolest thing at the St. Stephen's private school lunchroom, man.
Oh,
4
dude, I still
pizzas
got-
in one.
I still got a
Crazy.
couple cases sealed of pizza Lunchables.
Shit.
I guess
Sitting on it.
I guess I'm out of the loop. I think for me the reason why is because if he just said Lunchables in general, I would have said Lunchables, but specifically I always hated the pizza Lunchables because they tasted so artificial when I had
Well,
them.
yeah, that dust on them, it's perfect.
Like the dough, it's like I'm literally eating like raw dough with like
Yeah.
cheap marinara sauce and some like like I loved making the Ritz crackers with like the cheese and the ham. That was my favorite. I loved that with the Capri Sun. That was fantastic. But
That's good stuff.
the pizza one, I could never get behind the pizza one. That was literally the only one I didn't like.
I'm
So
right in
maybe
the
I'm
middle, so it's
I'm-
perfect. I could go either way, dude. Like
I'm the odd man out here, man.
I like them both.
I don't know.
I see you choosing Uncrustables. I get it. I can definitely see the Uncrustables choice.
They are good.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm right in
I
the
warned
middle.
I warned Alex before this that I'd have to leave abruptly. It is now that abrupt time.
It's that abrupt
Oh my
time.
God.
It is now that abrupt
Hold
time.
on, dude. I have not seen your wife come and scold you yet on stream. Like I feel like that's the cutoff.
I think
She-
he's right.
Until we
that's
see
only
her
fair.
drag him off.
She's this black and white one, and I'm the blue one. So they're
Hey, dude.
scolding
Hey,
here.
man. Dude, I appreciate you making the time, brother.
Yeah, seriously.
We should have done it on a day that I didn't have to go. Or I should have planned this better. We
That's
need to
what
do
we'll-
another one.
I
We'll
would
do another
love
one
to do
next year.
another one, man. Like I said, I it's first time coming on, so would love to get to know you a little bit more and talk more at some point.
Well, shoot me a DM and I'll ignore it for like a year or 2 or 3, and
That's
then
fair.
maybe we can get back on together in like 2030.
I like it. I like it. That
All right,
sounds good to
that's-
me, brother.
That sounds good. All right, guys, for real, this was fantastic. I'm sorry, I got to go visit my friends. My friends had a baby. I got to go say
All
hi.
right.
We're
See you,
excited.
brother.
Later,
See you
man.
guys.
Check out PokeNE, guys. Links in the description, right?
Yes, sir.
Links in the description, guys. PokeNE, Pokemon on YouTube. If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe.
All right. We'll do 2 more questions, then we'll get out of here because we're already on 2 hours. People are trolling. Have you ever literally question why you always late? Question why have you considered starting without Brian? That's so funny.
Well, you did that last week without Rob.
Oh my God. Yeah, I did do that. All right. Well, let's get some actual real serious
Pretty
questions.
Crazy the PSA buying Beckett.
I don't know, man. It's just the same old, same old. It's just companies trying to become monopolies. eBay buy TCG player, Beckett's buying, or PSA's buying Beckett. Like, it's just the same story as old as time. Like, if you can't beat them, buy them. Or get bought out, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it. Local LGS is selling Mega Charizard Seal Case 4 for 800 Canadian. I typically don't like big, bulky items, but this seems like a good deal.
I'm gonna go with no.
800 CAD USD is 580. You're paying 580 divided by 4. That comes out to 145 a box. Yeah, I'm not buying that. I'm not. No, not at all. Not at all.
David, dude, the Charizard UPC is gonna be an awesome pickup, just not yet.
It's gonna crash. It's legitimately like going to crash like crazy. We just don't know how
It's
much.
gonna be a great pickup.
It's gonna be a great pickup. Yeah, I think it'll be fun to watch. Kind of like what we've been saying with second wave Phantasmal watching 200 for the booster box. That's kind of a huge psychological thresh point. And then, with this item, the psychological thresh point will be 120 because that's MSRP. So
Someone said breaking news: Cosmic Eclipse reprint confirmed by PTCG Radio.
dude, that still gets brought up to this day. Is crazy. Bro.
Only this time, guys. Like, there's actually like confirmed purchase orders from distro of allocations. Like, there's actually large waves coming.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Golly, it's so funny how people still bring up stuff that was discussed so long ago. It's so funny.
Well, that's nice though. It's nice to see people like that. Someone been around that long.
I know, right?
I'm not kidding, man. I was looking the other day. It was like maybe, I don't know, a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I was looking at my old videos in the comment sections. Dude, I can't recognize a single, like one or two here or there names that are still around today, like in my comment sections. Like it's like the audience from 3-4 years ago is completely flipped.
It helps when a lot of your viewers, well, your as in my viewers, are all in my wholesale program.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sure it's like
me a ton.
just numbers wise, like, you know,
No, I get
like
what you're saying.
10,000, 20, 30,000 subscribers, like, yeah, a few hundred are always going to stick around, but like, man, it's crazy to see how few people are still like around commenting and like engaged in the hobby.
I mean, it's one of those weird things where like I wonder how long I'll be in the hobby. Because I do think about
cashing out. You heard it here, guys. Cashing out.
Cashing out, baby. But no, like in all seriousness, because I've been in the hobby since I was so young, right? But realistically, like from the business side, I've only been in the hobby for like 5 years.
You're so old now, dude.
Right? For 5 years. So it's like
the ripe old age of what, 27 now?
I just turned 27 in October. Yeah.
Damn. Get that AARP.
Dude, it's getting there, man. I'm already starting early registration, man. They're giving me the early bird special.
Yeah, nice.
It's crazy, dude. The discounts are gonna go so hip with the hot and what's it called again? You know what it's called? The icy cold. The icy cold, right?
Icy hot. With Shaq.
Yeah, dude. Oh golly, dude. But yeah, I don't know. It's something I definitely think about because I'm just not bored of it. I just love it. I love it so much. And I just don't see myself getting bored of it. But maybe that's just because for me, realistically, there's such a like, how do I want to articulate this? When it comes to investing in things, I feel like it's so easy to not get the full picture. But with Pokemon, I feel like it just is so transparent to me how the market works. And it feels nice knowing that like you have the confidence of how things are going to operate, that you feel like it's something that you can stick around in forever because you just keep making the same plays.
Yeah. And also you've kind of got to a point with like your infrastructure to where you're able to stay like somewhat detached from things, but also like involved up to a point where it's like, you're not overdoing it to where you're getting burnt out.
Yeah. I mean, this would be a completely different conversation a year ago for sure. I mean, because when I was already working like 12 to 16 hours a day before the store. And then when I got the store, I was working even more than that because it was no longer just like, oh, okay, I have to deal with the wholesale program. It's like, okay, I have to deal with the wholesale program. And I'm the only person that works the front of house for the shop. So I was literally opening and closing the store by myself while managing the wholesale program. And I did that for about a solid like 4 or 5 months. And I think I literally kept track. I had 4 months of working on average 15 hours. And I hadn't taken a single day off at that point. So it was definitely a lot. And you know, it's better now, right? Like you said, it's made it better, but it's definitely still difficult because you're still thinking of so many things. You're still managing so many things. And that's the stressful part. The stressful part before was you basically having to like consistently like be working and grinding yourself thin. And now the stressful thing is managing other people and hoping that everything doesn't fall apart by you giving them responsibilities.
Yeah. I mean, before I had someone help me with like shipping and all that, like I was getting burnt like quick.
Yeah.
Like with all the streams and all the content and just like the sourcing, the investing side, it was, I mean, it gets to a point where you're just like, okay, you either have to cut some things out to keep your sanity or you're gonna have to grow.
Yeah. Don't get crushed too much, brother. We'll go next question. And then we'll do this as the last one because we're already on time. Ooh, all right. Well, I like this question. We'll end on this one. This is a good one. What price does the Mega UPC hit before you're all in?
All right, we gotta do another question. We just answered that.
All right, my bad. But we didn't say what price we're gonna go all in on. I think that's good.
What's distro price?
Distro price is like 75, 80 bucks, I think.
That's okay.
Roughly.
If it hit 90, I'm all in.
Yeah, I think that's a good number for me.
All in.
I agree. Because 100 is a good number, and I would buy a good amount, but I wouldn't go all in. I would go all in for sure at 90.
It'd probably be my second biggest position under Prismatic. Prismatic's my biggest position by far.
Yeah.
But it would be my second biggest position.
Yeah. I mean, dude, just the loose packs market, you got to imagine like the effect that this would have on the loose packs market if it got down to 90.
I mean, I went pretty decently hard on the first Charizard UPC, and that I know how that just worked out. You know, like, I mean, I've already sold a good amount. I mean, I realized a lot of gains on that already. It's just, and I know it's the right move. And dude, think about this. Every time in Pokemon, have you ever once said with a long-term investment, I wish I wouldn't have bought that? Or is it always the same words from every single person in the hobby? I wish I would have bought more.
Always. Yeah.
So I'm trying to not have that wish in the future. I'm trying to get a large positions this time on things I really believe in.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be saying I wish I would have bought more.
I mean, it's just not only safe because we've seen history of what another Charizard Ultra Premium does historically, but it's also safe because the pack selection is going to be so strong that if realistically you wanted to break it down at some point, you could still get so much value because it's got Destin in it, it's got Surging in it, it's got Mega in it. Like, there's so many good sets in it. It's not like you're just, oh, I got Battle Styles, I got Sword and Shield base set. Like, you've got so many good sets. Yeah,
and guys, like, I know people saying like no way it hits 100, no way it hits 90. Here's the thing. It doesn't have to on the market. If it hits 120 MSRP, 110 on the market, you're going to be getting private deals. You're going to be getting quantity deals. You're going to be getting local deals, probably under 100.
100%.
Like, it's very possible. I'm not saying TCG or eBay you may see under 100 or under 110 or something, but you'll see it locally. You'll see it cash. You'll see it at shows.
Yeah. I mean, just think about it. Like, most shows are typically buying comps at 80%. If you have market at 110, what's 80% of that? It's right at around 90 bucks.
Yeah. What?
So
yeah, that's like 88.
Or sorry, did I say right around 90 bucks? Is that what I said? Yeah, right at around that. So I'm just saying, guys, like, it's 88. Yeah.
So I mean, I think you'll have collection bios under 100.
Yeah. And for those people that are saying no way, I don't know how long you've been in this market, but when the Charizard before was at 300 and people were like, there's no way it breaks below 200. There's no way it breaks below 150. No way it breaks below MSRP. And then all of a sudden it's at below wholesale. And then people are like, what?
It should scare people, me saying that. Like, I'm probably like known on like the Pokemon space is like the most obnoxiously bullish person on the hobby. It's probably a thing I get clowned for the most. Yeah. If even I'm saying that it could possibly do that, we're in trouble.
Yeah. Once I get my second wave from my main distro that was bigger than the first wave, and then prices don't crush, then we can start talking about it not tanking as much. But I've still yet to get my main wave. And when that one comes in, that's going to be a lot of product. So I think I have like 2 distros that have shipped to me, and one of them shipped me like 100 units. And the other one, we still got a lot of supply coming in. So, I mean, technically we still have a lot of supply of Phantasmal coming in. Like, I'm just now receiving my shipments from some of my distros at my store. So we're just now beginning to ship it out. So it's not even like, there's still more downside to go with the Phantasmal, presumably speaking, as it starts to get into the hands of retailers. But all right, we'll do one last question. Do you want me to just pick one, or do you want me to go what was next in order?
Just take one you think is good. I don't care. It's just we talk about this like a bunch of times. So
yeah, of course. We'll take this one. It's a 2-parter. There's a lot of talk about AH release schedule causing chaos, low supply and short-term price spikes. But could this be temporarily instead of TPCI falling behind? Could they be intentionally overlapping releases next main set in March to spread demand across products rather than concentrate it?
That's part 1. Is there a part 2?
Yeah, this is the part 2. I just didn't click on it. Yeah, so basically, I mean, the question he's more or less asking, I think I get what he's saying is, hey, I know we're thinking delays here, but is it more or less the shift in their strategy to hopefully try and make it to where demand is more centralized?
I mean, I think that's somewhat the overall strategy of the wave system, right?
Yeah, it's definitely that, because realistically, their anticipation is this stuff is going to come out expensive out the gate. You might as well have a second wave. That's because here's the thing, right? When a new set comes out, if you have overlap with second half of that product coming in during the time in which another set is being released, that set that has a second wave becomes old news. And then all of a sudden, the demand for it starts to kind of fall behind. And then when that second wave hits, it has a much greater of an impact because people are so much more hyper focused on the new set that either just came out or is about to come out. So, I mean, it's very possible that you realistically see that happen, because it is insane to me that we're literally getting this set, which we're going to get the ETBs for in February because of the delay. And then the next month, we're getting the next set. Like, that's so soon.
Yeah.
I mean, I think other than the specialty or the 25th anniversary set, do you know of a time where we've had that close of a back-to-back set?
This last one was pretty close. Like what, 6 weeks?
Was it that close between
so.
Phantasmal and Mega?
Maybe 7.
Yeah, I was about to say it was about 2 months. So
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, you're right. A week or a month and a half. Yeah, it's not too far apart.
I don't know. I mean, dude, I go back and forth so much. Like, you know, I think about like your allocation and Brian allocations, and I think about like how far you guys are up the ladder on the distro chains. And then we start talking about like how much product's actually out there. And then like even Rudy, he talks about numbers he's gotten. It's just, I don't know, man. I still think that here, like I said it before, Pokemon releases those print numbers, I think every like June. I'm kind of waiting for June to tell us where we're looking for printing numbers. You know, if those print numbers are anywhere similar to what they were in 2024, I think all of this product is going to be like, you just buy it. Stop asking questions. Stop worrying about price point. You're going to want to buy all this Scarlet Violet era product, put it away, because there's just simply not going to be any available in 3 years. Because if they literally did not print more of this, and we know, I mean, we don't know the exact numbers. We know the rip and ship culture has exploded in the last year. We know that this product has gotten opened exponentially more than any era in the past. And so unless we see massive print run numbers increase, this product can be really scarce, man.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it before. Once we get the numbers for what was truly printed, will we know the bigger picture, right?
Like, dude, I could, if those numbers like tell a story, I might really be aggressively buying next year. Like, and I mean, like for, you know, 3, 5, 7 year time frame holds, but like, I don't know, just seeing what Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon, XY have done, and you know, every step of the way we've heard it. I mean, me and Eli we met each other on a debate on a live stream before, where we were debating with other people about, you know, modern product being investable, and it was early Sword, it was like middle Sword and Shield era. And we were saying like, oh, well, Sword and Shield's not going to be like Sun and Moon and XY. I remember when I didn't even have a YouTube. I just remember like on online forums, there was like forums back then before YouTube and Discord and things were big. Like there was forum discussions about how modern product wouldn't be investable. This was back in like XY Sun and Moon time, when Sun and Moon came out and they were overprinting XY, and they just went back and reprinted Primal Clash and Roaring Skies, and XY Evolutions was getting printed into the ground. And then Sun and Moon came out, and Sun and Moon print runs were higher than XY. Dude, there was so much conversation about, oh no, it's all overprinted now, you're not going to be able to invest in it. People have said that every era along the way. Every era is no longer investable. And so I just don't believe it. Like the print run numbers tell the story. The ripped, you know, card tell a story. I don't know, man. I think I don't think there's as much product as people think there is.
Dude, I found the original video, by the way.
What's that?
The one where we first met on Pokenomics stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you guys that want to go watch, you can check Pokenomics' stream. It was March 28th, 2022. It was me, you, obviously Jake, and then it was
Northwoods.
Sorry, say that again?
Northwoods.
Yeah, Northwoods. And yeah, Northwoods.
Yeah.
So man, that was 3 years ago, dude. Holy crap. That's insane. 3 years have flown by. That's insane, dude. I've been doing this for a while. It's weird to think about the fact that I started my business. I started my business when I was 21, and I just turned 22 when I went live with my website. So,
yeah, and every time we talk about like stuff like, and I see people in the chat like, again, like, you know, oh, there's so many cases, people are storing more than ever, dude. Then just don't buy it. Like, don't invest in it. Like, we're just here to tell you what we're doing. Like, I don't give a crap what anyone else is doing. I mean, like Eli said, we've been around for 3-4 years now, but I've been in this hobby since 15. Like, I've been investing in modern since like 16. I mean, it's like, I'm going to do this whether I have a YouTube channel and anyone listens to anything I have to say. So it's like, I really don't care if anyone agrees or not. I mean, I've seen it happen too many times. I know this whole, you know, song and dance, this dog and pony show, and everyone thinks it's endless until it's not.
Yeah, but going back to it, there's a lot of people in this hobby that watch our content that have only been in the market for so long. They haven't seen it. They haven't. I mean, realistically, like, I don't know, man. That doesn't necessarily validate our takes, because I mean, there's been many instances in which I've been wrong about things, and my opinions are constantly evolving. Like I said before, like I was expecting reprints by now, and we haven't gotten any major reprints that have obviously crashed the price of anything. And so my shift has obviously changed on how I'm going to move forward, anticipating that playing a huge factor in things. So I'll be the first to admit when I'm wrong about something. But I guess the point is, though, with what we're kind of discussing here, is if we have legitimate supply coming onto the market, and we've seen what that's done historically, and we're already seeing weakness in the market, it just kind of feels like the signs are on the wall here, the writing's on the wall here with what is likely to occur.
And I also feel like insane gains are talked almost like not respected in TCGs. What I mean is, like,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like you'll make crazy gains. Like, you know, you'll sell something a couple years later for like 80% gain. People are like, well, you only made $100 on that. It's like, yeah, I owned, you know, 100 of them, right? It's like,
yeah.
And then you say, dude, and they'll say, well, yeah, taxes and fees and shipping, and you're just like, dude, you take all that out, take those gains compared to what your 401k is up. Right?
Yeah.
No one does that. There's like, well, you know, my 401k is here. I got compounding interest. I have this. Do you know what that means? Like, do the math. It still doesn't compete. Like, we've all done these. Listen to this. If I did all the math and I realized that a 401k or like mutual funds or index funds with compounding interest and if dividends being reinvested and all that, if that was making as much as this was, I would just do that. Why would I take the time to store this product? Why would I take the time to sell and ship it and move it around and all that? Why would I do this if it wasn't returning exponentially better? Like, I'm not stupid, right? I mean, so I don't know what people think we're trying to convince anyone of. We're just letting you guys know what we do and what we're successful with. It's all it is. You don't have to believe it, but I wouldn't do it if it wasn't working.
Yeah. Like, realistically, guys, I don't profit from whether or not you got, like, especially too, because I'm not making content anymore.
Oh, I profit the most on drama content.
Yeah.
If I wanted to just make content money, I would just get in the drama game and like just go back and forth with people on YouTube and get tons of views. Like, I don't make my in-depth like videos where I go through like a bunch of numbers and stuff. Those get the least views.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know. It's weird, but like we said before, a lot of people in, a lot of people out. Not really. A lot of people see the bigger picture, but yeah, let's end it there, brother. Once again, thanks for Brian for stopping by. Want to appreciate everyone for stopping by the stream. As always, we'll have to definitely have him on another time, hopefully when he's not on a cutoff, but we'll I'm liking adding these guests. It's fun. So we might have another person on at some point next week.
Mason wants to come on.
Oh yeah, we need Mason, dude. Yeah, you're right. We got to get Mason on. Down. Yeah, we'll do Mason next week. We'll do that if he's available. We can message him and see what works, but hopefully he can be on here for next week. I mean, he's always, yeah, you never know. But But all right, folks, thank you all once again for stopping by. Leave a like, comment down below, subscribe. Till then, we'll see you all next week. Peace.